Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends. Welcome to the Ledger Lounge. This is Oz the Crypto Goat. How's everybody doing? Don't forget to hit the like button. Start tapping the like button. Let's see if we can get to 100K likes today. 100K likes. That is the goal. That's what we're headed for. We are on a liking storm. I need my liking warriors out today. TikTok seller, I see you. Thank you. Always liking away. TikTok seller is my top liking warrior. And TikTok seller, I'm going to make a video special for you. I know that I put one out for Nate and Francesca. Those were automated by TikTok, but it didn't make one for you. And you do so much for the show. So we're going to do a special thank you video somehow, some way. I still owe you a Corvette video, but we'll put. I'll see if I can put something together for you. At least a special thanks or a shout out to you with a link to your shop. So DM me about that, so I can get the link from you, and we can put that out. And we should have the agency soon promoting all of our content. We've been getting the views we've been getting without any promotion whatsoever, and so we have promotion coming that will be paid for and facilitated by the agency. So once that happens, I'll post that so that way you get that free promotion as well with it. I appreciate all that you do for this show, all the gifts and all the likes that you do. That's why I try to keep you up. And guess what? Jesse's back. Everybody say hi to Jesse. Jesse wave, or Jesse, I'm going to bring you on the mic and you can say hello to all your fans that gifted so much to you guys. We raised $100 just on TikTok alone for Jesse. I'm going to bring you up on the mic. Say hi, Jesse. How you doing?
Hi, guys. I'm really glad to be back. I don't really like job hunting.
Yeah, I'm sure that wasn't very fun for you, was it?
Never.
Yeah. It sure is nice to just be here in the studio with the air conditioning on, hanging out with Jordan, our IT guy, backstage, taking it easy. I'm sure it beats the heck out of Walmart, right?
Absolutely.
Well, we're all very happy to have you back. And let me tell you, the fans showed up for you. Guys, if you want to send gifts right now, they're going to go there for Jessie. Let's see what kind of gifts we can get in to let her know just how much we love and appreciate her. I've got the dragon helmet up. I wish Jessie was on camera to wear the dragon helmet, but the dragon helmet would be for Jessie. Ken, thank you for the heart me. And you know what, guys? If you can't afford the dragon helmet, no big deal. I know you guys have been gifting like crazy, but if you send a heart me and 2 popular votes, it helps the algorithm. It's only 3 coins to do it, and that boosts it. So 1 heart me and 2 popular votes is the ticket. TikTok seller, thank you for the 11 popular votes, the 24 roses. Risky, thank you for the rose. And Ken, thank you for the heart me. All right, Jesse, I'm going to bring your mic down. Risky, thank you for the heart me as well. Thank you for coming back, Jesse. We missed you. Everyone missed you so much. All right, I guess she's done talking. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Everybody, FYP in the chat. Hashtag FYP. Risky Sneak says, good to be here, Oz. Thank you, man. Glad to have you. Don't forget to become a deluxe subscriber, guys. Being a deluxe subscriber, you get one-on-one coaching with me where you can message me directly and I can help you with these trades. I can help you set up your wallets, anything. I mean, Ask me anything. If I know the answer, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what, I have a lot of answers to a lot of random nonsense. My brain is a sponge and it just absorbs everything I come in contact with. Or if you want to fact check on something, we can look into it, you know? Who was it today? I think it was Kodak. It was either Ken or Kodak messaged me today about Ripple buying back XRP for $175 a token. That is a myth. That has been debunked. That is fake news. Yeah, so it was Ken. Okay. I knew it was someone with a K. So Ken messaged me and he's like, "Hey man, is Ripple buying back XRP for $175 a share?" And I was like, "Nope. Ripple is buying back their stocks in the company for $175 a share." A lot of people get XRP and Ripple confused with each other. They conflate the two all the time. Hey, Guinea Marie, how are you doing? But yeah, that's one thing that, and that's what creates a lot of FOMO in the space with XRP, is they just automatically assume Ripple means XRP, XRP means Ripple. That's the same thing that happens when like Donald Trump says Bitcoin and he means cryptocurrency. This is a common mistake that's made. So something you want to watch out for and pay attention to because you can be misled. Good, I bought Arrow today. When should I sell? That's a good question. That's a good question. Jesse, tell us about the Project Arrow. Because I had actually heard some negative things about it the other day and we didn't quite look into it. Jesse, can you look up Arrow and see if there's any FUD on that one? Bad news, good news? Because I did hear some negative things recently. Let's look up Arrow. That's a stock, right? Arrow's a stock, or is it a crypto? I think it's a crypto, right? The IPO. Well, I mean, I'm not going to get much data from an IPO. Generally, what you'll get from an IPO is it will double in price. Let's see, look at that. What am I supposed to do with that chart? What am I supposed to do with this chart? Generally what you get is you double your money on the opening price and you get out, or you hold on to Class A shares. That's pretty much what you get. That's the general rule of thumb. Obviously with Circle, that was a little bit different. Drone Maker Arrow shares rise up 291%. Wow. Yeah, Drone Maker Arrow jumps 140% in the latest IPO post. Drone stock IPO more than doubles after IPO. What to know about Arrow? So see how they said it more than doubles? Usually that's what you get, is a doubling of price. The fact that it went up more is great, but make sure you're taking profits. Maybe hold on to a few shares. That's up to you. That depends on what your goal is with this IPO. If you believe in it and you're like, I'm holding this for a long time and I want to hold Class A shares, then that's different. Jesse, never mind on the Arrow. I was able to pull that up. So yeah, I remember this one, the drone stock. Aerospace. Aerotine. Remember Aerotine from Wolf of Wall Street? Aerotine. Gibby, thank you for the heart me. Revolution, thank you for the popular vote. Revolution, thank you for the heart me. Ken, thank you for the popular vote. Risky, thank you for the heart me. TikTok seller, thank you for the 11 popular votes. It was to make money. Yeah. Did I see the plane crash in India? Yeah. Honestly, that's not really the kind of news we cover. I mean, kind of, but I just don't see the relevance. I don't want to get caught. I want to do another show that focuses more on like the current event stuff. But yeah, it was crazy. It was definitely crazy. Today we're going to talk about posse comitatus. Does anybody know what that is? Posse comitatus. That is the word of the day. If you know what posse comitatus means, without Googling it, put the answer in the chat. And if you don't, put a 1. Put a 1 in the chat if you don't know what it means. And if you do, put the definition in there. TikTok seller's got a 1. Come on, chat, help me out. If you want to know, you guys gotta start flooding the live here. I think we just need more gifts. We had so many gifts fly in that it's just like it wants the gifts to come in order to get that viewership out. HD Malicious, thank you for the heart me. The trick is the heart me and 2 popular votes and FYP in that order. So you're going to send a heart me, and then immediately you're going to send 2 popular votes, and then you put in the chat FYP, and it's supposed to boost the algorithm. So give it a shot. And if you haven't put FYP in, or if you already have, put FYP in the chat right now. Everybody put FYP in the chat. And you can also put hashtag viral, hashtag go viral, hashtag live. Those are all good ones. So everybody hashtag viral and hashtag live right now. What is cup? Guinea Marie. Revolution with the hashtag live, hashtag viral. Yes, thank you. The trick is to do them individually, but not boost them up. Yes, Gibby with the XRP. Exactly. Everybody hashtag crypto. Spell check. Everybody hashtag crypto. And remember, you're putting hashtags with these. The popular votes are when you put the GIFs. There's a section right net. You click on GIFs, and then it shows where it says exclusive GIFs. That's where you're going to get the popular votes at. Revolution says hashtag moom cheese. Let's see here. Hashtag food stamps. All right. Hashtag watch this. Oh, must watch. That's what it is. Hashtag must watch. Hashtag 11D. Yes. 11D is going to be, that's going to be the word, man. Hashtag must watch. Yes. Let's get those rolling in. Anything you can think of, it's going to help. Hashtag TikTok. Hashtag TikTok live. Putting those out periodically puts it into the FYP and the algorithm for people. Hashtag 10K. Yeah, 10K, man. That's going to put the wrong people in here. Hashtag GOAT. I like that one. Hashtag GOAT. All the people are going to be like, this guy is not a GOAT. Guinea Marie, thank you for the 4 popular votes. And Guinea Marie, thank you for the heart me. Revolution, thank you for the 2 popular votes. You guys are awesome, man. Your guys' support for this show is just overwhelming. We were supposed to have Neil on the show, but he backed out last minute too. Like, I talked to him yesterday, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to be there. And then he messaged me this morning, and he was like, yeah, dude, I can't come on. I'm sorry. I forgot I had this thing to do. He's like, I should have gave you more time. I should have told you sooner. My bad. I completely forgot. And I was like, he's like, can we reschedule? I'm like, dude, I'm booked out till mid-August. So I was like, we'll see if we can. But then like he's talking in the chat and he's like saying stuff about how the market doesn't make him nervous. And I was just like, does this comment make you nervous? And he's like, yes, Oz, it does. It makes me very nervous. What's up, Mega Crypto? How you doing, buddy? Glad to have you here. We all love Mega Crypto here. This is like Mega Crypto's second family here. Everybody here, I love Mega Crypto. I would probably say my favorite crypto creator in the space for sure. Top notch, great guy, pure soul, clean heart, just an amazing dude. Too kind, bro? Nah, dude, I'm just being honest, man. I'm just being honest. Great guy. And his TA is pretty on point too, you know? I mean, not as good as me, bro. No, I'm just kidding, man. We're pretty much in line, I would say. Some guys are just way out there and some guys are on point, and Mega is on point. When I'm like guessing myself, I'll see what Mega says. I'm sure he does the same to me too. When I'm second guessing myself, I will check out what Mega's saying. But I always give credit where credit's due. If Mega says it, I'm gonna say, hey, Mega said this, not me. Always credit should be given where credit's due. TikTok seller, thank you for the 3 let 'em cooks. Risky Sneak, thank you for the high bear. Appreciate you. How you doing, Mega? Mega's back from LA. He's safe from the craziness. And that brings me to what we're going to talk about. Posse Comitatus. Posse Comitatus, ladies and gentlemen, is the word of the day. So if anyone doesn't know what it means, I guess we could, let's pull it up here. Actually, let's have Jesse. Jesse, can you fact check what Posse Comitatus means? I know what it means, but I want to hear the actual definition so that you can understand what it is, what it means, and what I'm referring to. Yo, G, BTC, maybe short. I would say either become a subscriber, send the gift in the goal, or come over to Twitch and put it in the chat, and I'll do it absolutely free. Mind you, we are, can we get a fact check on Posse Comitatus, the meaning and definition of it? I already know what it means, but I want to give you the proper definition. There's a reason we have Jesse here. So let's make her work for her money, huh? She works hard for the money, so hard for the money. She works hard for the money, so you better send some gifts. All right, you're on mic.
I don't think they sign up for you to sing, but okay.
Too bad they got it.
A body of men typically armed, summoned by a sheriff to enforce the law.
Say again? Posse Comitatus is what?
A body of men typically armed, summoned by a sheriff to enforce the law.
Right. Okay, thank you, Jesse, for that. Yes, Posse Comitatus is when people are deputized to basically serve a role in law enforcement, right? And regular people this can happen with them, and it can also be it can be the National Guard, it can be Marines can do this, and that would happen. The XRP army, no, this refers to let's pull up the news article here. Oh wait, this is the wrong one. Whoops. This refers to Civil War. Civil war in the United States. Actually, I don't think I have the. Did I pull it up? Aha. Appeals court temporarily allows Trump to keep National Guard in LA. Okay. Now, some people are saying, oh, that this is against the law. He cannot do this. A judge ruled. This is a district judge, one of 677 judges here in California. Okay. Of 677 judges, any one of them can basically, if Donald Trump says, I'm invoking this, which is basically Title 10. Okay. So this is not the Insurrection Act. This is Title 10 of a federal order that gives Donald Trump temporary control of the National Guard, okay, and also the U.S. military to basically, when states are not fulfilling certain duties, then what happens is they invoke Title 10 or they invoke the Insurrection Act. He can legally, at this point, do both, okay? He can legally do both. He has not implemented the Insurrection Act. And this is the thing on social media right now is a lot of people are saying like, oh my God, he's taken over the National Guard. He's sending Marines to go break up protests. That's all not true. Okay. The fact of the matter is he has sent Marines into LA, which he's allowed to do under Title 10 to defend federal property. That's it. That's all they're allowed to do. They can't arrest people. They can't do anything. They can detain people that try to attack the facility, but the Marines cannot do anything other than that unless they're given posse comitatus. Okay. And the Insurrection Act would give them posse comitatus, where they would actually be able to act as a police force in California and work alongside with the National Guard. Okay. So as of right now, Donald Trump has command of the National Guard in in California, and the Marines that were sent out from 29 Palms to defend the federal buildings. Okay. The military that's there, the Marines they can't break up riots. They can't handle with the protests. They can't go out in the streets and arrest anybody. They can't shoot anybody. Okay. That's all fake news. Okay. The only thing they can do is sit there at the federal building and make sure that nobody takes it down. Okay. Nobody firebombs it. Mega, thank you for the heart. Me appreciate you. Risky, thank you for the high bear. TikTok seller, thank you for the 3 let him cooks. So that's where we're at. Yeah, tomorrow's the No Kings thing. And I'll tell you what, if that gets out of control, there's a possibility that he could implement the Insurrection Act across multiple states. I doubt that's actually going to happen. He could just do Title 10. Okay. But Title 10 only makes it so that they are defending federal property. It's federal buildings, federal property. The federal government has every right to defend it. Okay. They're not out there, shooting bullets at protesters. That is fake news. It is not true. Do not believe the lies. That's why we're here. We are here to give you the facts. Big baller, thank you for the heart me. Okay. And just know that it's FUD. Nothing but FUD coming out. Oh, still says starting soon, by the way. My bad. My apologies to Twitch. My apologies. Completely forgot. I'm off my game. I started late today and trying to get Jesse mic'd in. I was just behind at doctor's appointments today and barely made it into the studio in time. It was just crazy. You're going back to Twitch? All right. See you there, man. The news, they arrested and deported U.S. citizens is Aaron. He's never fake news. Okay, well, who arrested him? What citizens can still be deported by the National Guard. I'm saying that the Marines, okay? So there's a difference, okay? The Marines today, that's impossible. It has to be fake news. It is impossible. It is not happening. You're getting fed nonsense, okay? Don't believe everything you hear out there, okay? The Marines cannot arrest or do anything that would be considered posse comitatus unless the sheriff himself, the governor, the mayor, or the president gives them that power. So it's not happening. Aaron on TikTok, he's never fake news. It doesn't, people lie. And just because it's never fake news doesn't mean that he wasn't given misinformation. Okay. What I'm here to tell you is if that's the case, I would be getting alerts blown up like crazy that the Insurrection Act has been invoked. Let's look it up right now. Let's fact check it. Jesse, can we get a fact check? Are there Marines arresting and deporting people in California right now? 100% correct. Not real. My friends are Marine Corps. Exactly. Like there is a due process of how this works. Jesse, can we get a fact check on this guy, Aaron, on TikTok and his news about the Marines deporting people? I will tell you right now, there's no way, not without the Insurrection Act being implemented. Posse comitatus, okay? I know what I'm talking about. I bet you this guy, Aaron, doesn't even know what that word means. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Do not listen to everything you hear. Dig into these things because all it takes is a little bit of digging and you'll find it. Jesse, are you ready for me to bring you up on mic? Aaron Parjas, he's right. I firmly disagree. Parnas. Aaron Parnas. All right, here you go. You are mic'd on. Has the Insurrection Act been invoked?
No, the Insurrection Act hasn't been invoked, and the threat was made that the Marines would arrest, but I think people misunderstood. Those were federal agents who made the arrest, not the Marines themselves.
Exactly. So the Marines have not done this, and the Insurrection Act is not been invoked. And what is?
But they were all together.
Okay, and Donald Trump is operating under Title 10 right now, if I'm correct.
Let me take a look at that. I'm just looking at the there was a discrepancy that people thought it was the Marines arresting people, but it was the FBI. But because they're standing together, they're just like, oh, it was the Marines.
Yeah. There can be two different forces standing together in a line, and each of them can have different powers.
Yeah, he invoked Title 10 to deploy the National Guard.
Okay, there you go. So Donald Trump temporarily has, thank you, Jesse, appreciate you. It's a good thing we had you on today. So people can be wrong, okay? And this is why we have fact checking here. And, you know, Guinea Marie, you're going to believe whatever you want to believe. Okay, you can go on the internet and you can find something that's going to tell you what you want to hear every time, no matter what you're looking for. Okay, I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to give you facts. I'm here to dig into this stuff, find out the legalities and every aspect behind it. Detain and arrest are two different things. So here's the thing. Under Title 10, they are allowed to detain and hold people that attack the federal facility or anybody that is under federal jurisdiction being held. Okay, so if there are people in that federal facility that are being held or detained, they're allowed to hold them until the proper authorities come along and file the paperwork and do due process. And it's up to those other authorities to say, okay, we're going to release you from being detained, or we're going to arrest you and deport you, whatever it may be. What's up, Danny Gibson? So understand there are distinctions here. Do not get lied to. Okay? Don't believe everything you hear. That's why we have this show. This show is only popular not because I'm anything cool. It's because I tell the truth. That's why you guys are here. You guys are here to get the facts, right? So that's what I built my whole platform on, is by digging into things, finding the truth, finding the information, because I'm telling you right now that I would say 99% of reporters that are reporting on this issue right now have no idea what the word posse comitatus means. They've never even heard it before. Okay? It's on his Instagram thing, or you're on his Instagram thing. But anyone can post anything. I'm here doing it. You know, don't believe everything I say. Do your due diligence. Go research what I tell you. Because you can get on here and say, oh, this guy Aaron said this, and so I believe it, and then I'm on here saying the opposite. It's up to you to decide who's telling the truth, not by deciding by who is tickling your ear, telling you what you want to hear, but by who is giving you the facts, by digging into the situation and researching it and finding the truth. Because you're going to find whatever you want on the internet to fit whatever narrative you have. Okay? And let me tell you, they lie to you in a special way. Okay? They'll write articles. Go ahead, Jesse, you're mic'd. Go ahead, Jesse.
I think people are misunderstanding detained and arrested.
Right. They have the power to detain.
Because detained is just like, we're holding you here for a second because we don't know what to do with you. And arrested is behind bars.
Exactly. Arrested is paperwork filed, due process, court proceedings.
And the guy that they're talking about who posts.
Yeah, this Aaron guy.
He is typically, yes, very accurate, but he also conflates things and kind of just says it a little differently to get a reaction. But I believe he believes what he posted, but I'm looking at everything else in the news, and it was one person that was detained for like 20 minutes.
Exactly. And that brings me to my next point that I was going to say is, this is how they lie to you. Okay. What will happen is a reporter will come out and they will say, Donald Trump did a backflip on Sunday at 5 p.m. And then another article will come out and say, false, fact check has been done. Donald Trump did not do a backflip. And then you read and it'll say a whole bunch of mambo jumbo, and it'll say Donald Trump did do a backflip, but not at 5 p.m. at 4:38 p.m. That's what they do. That's the way that they manipulate and lie to you, even with these fact checking. Okay, they will lie to you. Oh, he tells the narrative, the truth too, and he fixes it. Yeah, everyone is entitled to a retraction. If I am wrong, I will come out and I will post a retraction. No problem. People are allowed to be wrong, okay? But the thing is don't take anyone's reporting, any news outlet, even this one, at face value, okay? Listen to everything, believe nothing, okay? You want to listen to the information and then dig and find the answer. That is how we find the truth, okay? Inflation up 0.1%. I know, right? Is that like the biggest nonsense or what? Exactly. They use special tactics to lie to people. And they're doing that on purpose with the inflation results. One, to make it look like Donald Trump's not so bad. And two, to make you think that interest rates are coming down, so you'll throw your money into the market and the whales can eat it all up. This is what they do. This has been happening for thousands of years, guys. We have to learn from our mistakes. We have to educate ourselves. We have to do our due diligence, okay? We cannot just listen to a creator, even myself, okay? because I am flawed just like everyone else, okay? We all make mistakes. You cannot just listen to me and take it as fact. You need to look into the things that I'm telling you. That's why I have the news up here. That's why the article is right here for you to read, okay? So that you can see where my source is, okay? This is how you see how I got to it. But at the same time, you got to look into it more. Do your own research always. Exactly, Mega. Exactly. Do your own research. Use other creators and content creators, news outlets. Use them as an avenue to find the right questions to be asking. And then do the research to find the answer to those questions. Do not rely on me to tell you the truth, okay? Do not rely on this Aaron guy. Do not rely on Mega Crypto. Do not rely on Neo. Do not rely on TikTok Seller, okay? Do not rely on CNN News. Do not rely on Steven Crowder. Do not rely on Tucker Carlson, okay? Do not rely on what's that one? The View, okay? Don't rely on these people. Use them as a vessel to figure out what are the questions you should be asking so that you can do your own research to find the truth. I'll rely on CNN and TikTok. I would not rely on CNN, man. CNN, it seems like for the last 4 years, every time I turn on CNN, it's just Trump derangement syndrome. And I can't believe anything they say because so many times they lied to us. So many times. It's just Trump this, Trump derangement syndrome, Russia, this and that, Insurrection Act, whatever you can name it. They've gotten to a point where they've lied so much. I can't listen to anything they say. Same thing with Fox. Dude, Fox is just as bad. I'd say they're probably on the same team. Mega Crypto says, CNN, don't get me started. And Mega Crypto says, same with Fox for me. They're both the opposite ends of the spectrum to me. I think they're kind of unilaterally aligned in some ways. And then in other ways, they're fighting forces. Fox and CNN stay away from so much misinformation. I agree. I would implore you to find a independent media source that you trust, vet them, and then rely upon them. And I'm not saying to follow the goat, okay? Find one that you trust, that it will give you the facts, and that's where you'll get it. Bloomberg News, I don't know. I sometimes will use Bloomberg on here as sources, but that's because I don't want to create an echo chamber. I want to see what everyone is saying, but don't use a publication as an end all be all, okay? Look at all sides of the coin. You got to look at the front of the coin, the back of the coin, and the edge of the coin, okay? When let me break this down to you. When you're looking at a coin to see if it's counterfeit, okay? Do you guys know what the little edges on the edge of a coin are for? You know how you get your coin, it has little ridges on it, right? The reason for that is coins were originally gold and silver, okay? And so they would stamp coins, and the front face of the coin had to look a certain way, and the back face of the coin had to look a certain way, right? Well, people realized that, hey, I can just take my knife and I can shave off a little bit of that gold and silver to every coin, and I can save it all up and melt it down, and I'll have a bar. So those edges on there are there so that you can't shave off the edges of the coin when they were gold and silver. That's the whole purpose of that. So that's why we need to look at the front of the coin and the back of the coin, and in the middle around the edge. In the middle, that fine edge is everything. And it's the most finite surface, okay? It's easy to tell which side is lying on the face, but it takes a much more closer exam to look at the edge, okay? because the edge is what will tell you, because it can be a real coin. Both sides could be telling the truth, but that fine edge, the slight edge on that, is what can be the counterfeit of it. It's all major news media has agenda. I agree with that. I agree with that. They all have an agenda. Mega Crypto says, love the analogy. Well, I mean, I guess that it is what it is. You know, there's a reason why for everything. But I actually just came up with that off the top of my head right now. But, you know, both sides of the coin can look authentic, but the edge will be the dead giveaway. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the edge. It's a slight edge, okay? You guys ever read the book Slight Edge of Infinity? Check it out. Basically, it says that in life, we are walking down the edge of a blade, okay? And all it takes is one tip to one side or the other to fall off the edge, okay? And to go down a rabbit hole down the wrong direction. And staying on the edge and staying sharp and fine-tuned in your life will guide you down the sharp edge of infinity. It's literally, this sharp edge goes for infinity, and all it takes is one mistake to lead you off into the wrong direction. There's a reason why they say the path is narrow. The narrow path. The narrow path that few follow. Exactly. It is very easy to fall off the path. It is a fine line, and we need to stay vigilant and ready and prepare ourselves mentally for this. I would call it a battle. It's a battle for your mind, ladies and gentlemen. Every single day you are fighting a battle for your mind, and that's why we have this show, because we are fighting that fight here. We are here to find the truth, to find the narrow path in which will guide us to the truth. B, how's it going, man? Glad to see you on Twitch, man. Twitch is popping right now. B just subscribed to Tier 1. Thank you, B, for subscribing. B, after the show, reach out to me. I've been waiting for you to come into the live. I have a donation to send to the Save a Warrior Foundation. We raised another $75, I believe it was, last month, and I lost your name and stuff, so I want to make sure that it gets recognition to your VFW or whatever, so that it goes through you. So send me a direct message, man, because I've been holding on to it. Everybody thinks I know I haven't posted the receipt yet. I've been waiting to hear from B. Okay, so B, there you are. I know you had just had surgery and a couple of things, so send me a DM and I will get that donation sent out for you. But man, we appreciate you guys. And this month, I don't know. I think donations this month are going to go to Jesse to keep our fact checker here. But the following month, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do the Tim Ballard. I think it's the Tim Ballard Foundation, or I got to figure out what foundation it is. If you guys saw the movie Sounds of Freedom, that movie is based off of Tim Ballard. And we want to put a stop to SAing children, trafficking of children, all of that. So that's going to be the next one we give to. All right. Let's read this. Oh, thank you, Mega. I appreciate you. Yeah, anyone that wants to make a donation, the best way to make a donation is to the Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. All that information is on Twitch because we cannot do that on TikTok. TikTok wants to take that money. When you give through that side, it goes directly into our account, and that way we're able to put the donation. Obviously, you can go to that website and make that donation, but the reason why you do it through us is because these foundations, they have a fee. when you give and you donate. So when we lump all of everyone's together as a community and we give it, we only have to pay that fee one time. And then that way it all goes in one pot so that more money actually goes towards helping the cause than just an individual giving on their own. So that's why we do it this way. All right. Appeal court temporarily allows Trump to keep the National Guard. Okay. So let's talk about this. Okay. So a district court judge, one guy out of 677 men that are district court members in California. Okay. That means any one of these judges could have a vendetta against Trump, could have a Trump derangement syndrome, or for any reason, maybe they're acting in the right. Who knows? But it just takes one bad actor, okay, can basically bang a gavel and say, I am taking away the authority of the sitting president of the armed forces. That is literally the president's job. Everybody thinks, oh, he does this and he runs the whole country. No. The president's job is to be in control of the armed forces and the military. Okay. All this executive order stuff is new. That didn't all happen until, like, I think Patriot Act. Okay. This is all new stuff. It's unconstitutional edict. All of these executive orders. The executive branch is not allowed to write legislation. Okay. There's a separation of powers in the United States of America. Okay. The legislative branch writes the laws and passes them. The judicial branch interprets them, and the executive branch has power to enforce them through the force of military, National Guard, and so on and so forth. Okay. Commander-in-chief, the military answer to the president. Exactly. Okay. So for a judge to come and say, no, you can't take. So basically, the National Guard is under the control of the governor of whatever state. So each state has their own National Guard, right? So in California, Gavin Newsom has control of the National Guard. But Gavin Newsom and oh God, I can't remember her name. The mayor of LA. And I should know because I literally have a picture with her. Karen Bass. Okay. I've met Karen Bass personally. So Karen Bass has the authority to mobilize the National Guard into her city. And Gavin Newsom has the ability to mobilize the National Guard into any city or the entire state of California. Karen Bassel. Bro, come on, bro. All right. So she's actually a really nice lady. She has her moments, but she's actually, as an individual, she's a nice person. I do know her personally. There was a time where I was in politics and I was actually going to be groomed to be the next mayor of LA. But that didn't happen. Plans changed. Politics are dirty, nasty. I don't want to have anything to do with it. I would rather be here and making a difference right here with you guys. I met Rick Caruso quite a few times. Nice. Yeah, with my job, dude, like I was pretty plugged in. So anyway, the mayor, the governor, they have control of California's National Guard. Okay. Now, under Title 10 of federal law, and I believe it is a law. Jesse, if you could do a fact check on this, is Title 10 from a law that's been passed through legislation, or is it an executive order? Because if it's an executive order, I do not agree with it. It is unconstitutional for executive orders to exist. But if it is legislated, then it should be okay. So, Jesse, let me know when you have that information. But either or, because of the Patriot Act and all the things that have happened in the U.S., executive orders stand. They are temporary orders. They are unconstitutional edict. They are not laws, okay? Just because something's not a law doesn't mean that there can't be a policy, okay? Stores have policies where they're like, no, you can't use the bathroom, even though the law doesn't say you're not allowed to go to use the bathroom. Just certain stores have that policy, okay? That's what it is a law. Okay, so it is a law. A judicially voted upon passed law, okay, Title 10, which gives the president this authority to invoke not only United States Code. Let me bring you up on mic and you can tell us what the code is. I'm going to mic you right now if you're ready. Go ahead.
Okay. Title 10 refers to the United States Code, part of the Department of Defense. So that's programmed into it. That is something any president can pull out.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate you. So Title 10 is a voted on, passed law. Okay. If this was an executive order, I would be speaking out against it. This is a law, okay? Which means that if states get out of control, just like they're in California, and they don't do what needs to be done, like bringing in the National Guard to calm people down or to chill this out, then the president has the authority to invoke Title 10 or invoke the Insurrection Act. But Trump didn't do the Insurrection Act. He could easily have said, I'm invoking the Insurrection Act, I'm taking control of California, and done all these different things. But no, he said, I'm sending troops, I'm taking control of the National Guard, sending them in, and I'm sending Marines in to defend federal property. That's it. Yeah, that's it, to protect people and property. They actually found an unalived person after the protest today. No one knows who it is or what happened. It could have been foul play. It could have just somebody croaked and that was it. But they found an unalived body. Okay? This is why we need to have National Guard there, because if the people are running rampant and crazy, a lot of times these people are just serving as medical aid. A true fascist would take the opportunity to take charge of the power ASAP. Trump hasn't. I mean, I will give it to him. I think he was well within his right to invoke the Insurrection Act. But I think at the same time, if he had done that, it would have not been favorable for him. A lot of people would have called him a fascist. So here's the slight edge, okay? The double-edged sword on this one is, did he do that not to be perceived as a fascist, but wanted to? Or did he not do it because he felt he didn't need to? Or did he not do it because people might look at him poorly? That is the question exactly. So we don't know what his intentions were, but we know that he did not do this. And we have to focus on the facts of that. He has many fascist qualities and it's adding up against his... Jesse, please try not to take a side. We have to remain neutral. Okay? Don't make me fire you again. Just kidding. We love Jesse here. We didn't fire Jesse. Jesse almost quit. Don't care. He did the right thing. Exactly. I think he made the right choice. It needed to be done. But it feels like you take Trump's side. I'm not taking any side. What I'm saying is here are the facts and here are the possibilities of why. I'm not taking any side. I have the side that I've chosen. Okay. But I am not here to take a side. I'm here to give you the information. All right, Revolution, here you go. Go ahead.
You tell me not to take a side, and that's fine. To be completely honest, I don't like any politician because gross, they all had to sell their soul to get where they are.
I agree.
But he pulled this out of his butt when that lovely little tweet about him being on the Epstein files, and all of a sudden send the National Guard to California. We had it under control before the National Guard even got there. And then Trump said, oh, the National Guard made everything better. And he tweeted that before they had even arrived. That's true. You can look that up. That's not a lie. Well, there has been
the rioting
very,
has not
very
stopped.
few parts that are rioting, and 90% has been peaceful protest.
Yes, and I agree with that, Jesse, but you have to understand that maybe in one area the rioting had subsided, but the problem is this is compartmentalized into multiple different areas are doing different things, so you can find news that fits the narrative that, oh, the rioting stopped right here, but it didn't mean that it wasn't going on over here, and it didn't mean that it couldn't possibly continue. So that's the issue. But we need to...
but if you follow the timeline, he lies.
I agree. They all lie. Politicians lie. That's what they do. Okay, that's why you're watching this show, so that you can get the truth and the facts. But Jesse, we need to remain unbiased and give the information in a way where it is not
okay, but then so do you.
I am, but I'm also giving that this could have happened because of this reason or because of this reason. Okay, I'm not taking a side here. You already know what side I'm on. We've talked about this off mic. Okay, we must not first of all, we must not argue. Okay, I mean, we can argue it, but we must not take a side, and we must be...
I'm not arguing.
I know, but we need to be bound to the facts and not opinionated in our responses. That is the whole purpose of this, is people will come up with their own opinions.
As long as we both do it, I'm here for it. Okay.
And if you hear me slipping up, chime in and put me in my place. But the whole goal of this show is to not take a side.
Just did.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jesse. Jesse, everyone. Mega says Oz for president. Mega says, I was there. It was bad. Yeah, dude, I messaged Mega. I was like, hey, bro, I know you're down there. Are you okay? I was like, are you alive, man? Like, tell me you're breathing, because I didn't hear from him for like a week. And I was like, bro, please tell me you're okay. And then I tried to bribe him with tickets to get him to answer me, and he still didn't answer. I feel like everything he does is being glorified, or he's right. I agree with that sentiment. I think there is a part of the news media that is their job is to make him look good. I get that. I believe that. Trump was born out of all the BS the last administration tried to make us believe. I agree with that too. What's XRP dropping to tonight? That's a good question too. We'll get to that in a little bit, so stick around. Guinea Marie, I agree with Jesse. No, you say he's right, or he did it because. I literally said he did this. He did a thing, okay? He invoked the powers that needed to be invoked, in my opinion, okay? When he could have legally, he had every right to do what he did and could have taken it a step further, but I believe he made the right decision by not taking it too far, okay? And doing just enough to make it okay, And I believe that he either did that out of because he didn't want people to think he was a fascist, or because he's just not a fascist. That is what I'm saying. It is my opinion that he made the right choice. Okay? I believe that we needed the National Guard there. Okay? Just to facilitate, they found a unalived body. Okay? Just to facilitate with first aid. There needs to be people there that can help with that. That is more or less what the National Guard does. Okay, the police are the ones that go in there with the tear gas and all the riot shields and the batons hitting people. Okay, the National Guard, more or less, they will, do some of those roles, but most of the time they're out there rendering first aid and help and things like that. Trump was born out of all the BS last administration tried to make us believe. I agree. That's just my opinion. Saying he made the right decision is a judgment of his actions. In my opinion, I think he did make the right decision because something had to be done and he didn't take it too far. But that's my opinion. I'm allowed to have opinions. Okay, but we also are focusing on the facts. B says, take a look back. Obama, Clinton, and even Schumer, they all said we need to deport illegal people. This is nothing new. The only reason why there are so many protests and riots is because Trump is doing it. Your opinion. Yeah. Well, I mean, people don't want to go home. If you were facing life in prison, okay, in your country, and you ran to another country to seek asylum or whatever you want to call it, and you came to this other country and the other country said, no, you have to go back and you have to go to prison, would you want to leave? Of course not. So would you incite something to make it so that you didn't have to go back to prison for the rest of your life? Probably. There's no due process now. There is definitely some discrepancies in the due process, and I'm still digging into that story. When politics became polarized to one side or the other, was the turning point that got us all here. I agree. We became bifurcated, polarized, pitted against each other. What happens when the people rise up against the king and march on the castle? They grab their pitchforks and they grab their torches and they march on the castle. And then the king comes out and he says, people, listen to me. The people with the torches are trying to take away your pitchforks. This is a tale as old as time. If you love this country, fly the stars and stripes high. I fly the stars and stripes, but I do not fly the regular flag that you're all used to seeing, Old Glory, with the red, white, and blue. My flag is all black. I fly a black flag in my front yard. That is the FOFA flag. That is the flag I fly. All right. So, let's see here. More news. Let's see what's going on here.
Go beyond the headlines with
stupid. See, I usually watch all the ads first so that we don't have to watch the ads and then we get stuck with this. Neo, thank you for the 3 popular votes and the heart me. Hold on a second. We got a bunch of gifts up here. I didn't even realize because we were getting into it. So Mega Crypto with a heart me, Big Baller with a heart me, Neo with a heart me, Neo with the 3 popular votes, TikTok Seller with the 8 popular votes, and TikTok Seller with the 6 roses. What's going on, Henry? How you doing, buddy? Who's got me with the dragon crown? I need a dragon crown. Somebody help me out. Let's watch this news here. This is actually pretty crazy.
Regular people are mobilizing against Donald Trump and his administration's overreach, both against his reckless, destructive efforts
Look at this.
to detain law-abiding, peaceful.
Is that Marines versus National Guard? Is that what I'm seeing? Or is that them practicing? It's hard to tell. Mother of Dragons, thank you for the heart me. Let's watch this one more time. Is this them practicing and getting warmed up, or is this an actual skirmish
Against Donald Trump and his administration's overreach.
What am I seeing
Both
right
against
here?
His reckless, destructive efforts to detain law-abiding, peaceful neighbors in communities across the country, and also his decision under dubious legal authority to mobilize the national.
What it practice? You really think so? I don't know. Look again. Watch this with me. And even if it is practice, why would they put this up here to people are going to believe civil war. They're going to think it's begun.
Regular people are mobilizing.
Either way, this is
against
not
Donald
good.
Trump and his administration's overreach. Both against his
Go back to
reckless,
crypto.
destructive efforts to detain law.
Dude, I just used you guys. I just used crypto to reel you guys in so that I could do a news show.
Authority to mobilize the National Guard and the Marines against peaceful demonstrators.
I just
They were
used
the
your
folks taking the
wallets to
streets
rope you
demonstrating
in.
against what is happening in this country, from Los Angeles to New York, El Paso to Raleigh. And this weekend, there will be many, many more protests.
Look at
coast
that.
to coast,
Wow.
in cities big and small towns.
Look at, they're
to
just covering
counter-program-
this. I covered this last week. What was it, Friday? What's it, or I covered it like Monday, Tuesday? They're just covering this now. We were on top of this. You're going to get the news here before you get it anywhere else. Let's talk about the Coneheads.
Trump's North Korean-style military parade he's throwing himself on his 79th birthday. Those protesters have a simple message.
You see your house?
We have no king.
Where is it? Right here somewhere?
The constitutional right to protest, enshrined in the First Amendment, exists for a reason. And I got to say, watching all this develop over the last few days, it feels odd to have to say this, but protests are good, actually.
Yes.
Protests against cruelty and tyranny
Yes.
and for our shared values are a good thing, and never more so than in the face of an authoritarian threat to our most cherished liberties. And to be clear, any debate about the optics of peaceful protest or whether or not demonstrators are just playing into Donald Trump's hands obfuscates the fact that people should be peacefully protesting against the ongoing attempt to end American democracy we've been witnessing. An attempt that began on Trump's first.
Hold it right there. Do you hear what he said? This is how the news lies to you. Listen.
Attempt to end American democracy we've been witnessing.
End American democracy. They're going to end American democracy. Okay, first of all, America, the United States of America, has never been a democracy. Ever. Okay? And what they're trying to do here with the media is they're trying to make you think that we live in a democracy. We need to stand up for our democracy. We need to fight for democracy. Okay, democracy is a bad thing. Okay? Hear me out, chat. Democracy is a bad thing. Democracy is mob rule. Okay? When the mass majority of people are allowed to vote on something and then just deem it to be, that is what democracy is. We do not live in a democracy. We live in a republic. Okay? This is a republic. We have a republic for a reason because there are people that can be disenfranchised by democracy. So we give everyone an equal voice, even the little guy. Cue the Star Wars music. Dun, 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 dun. We live in a republic for a reason, okay? A democracy is a bunch of wolves and one sheep deciding what's for dinner, okay? A republic is a bunch of wolves and a well-armed sheep deciding what's for dinner. It gives balance so that the little guy is not trampled on. That is the point of having a republic and not a democracy. Do not be fooled by the media, by these prominent pundits, okay? We live in a republic. Long live the republic, okay? Democracy is not your friend. Democracy is mob rule. Risky sneak. Dictatorship is when they tell you what to do. Democracy is when they pretend not to. Exactly. Exactly. Well said. The little guy needs to have a voice too. Just because you don't live in a congested city doesn't mean that your opinion and your voice does not matter. Your vote should count equally. That is why we have a republic. But I also agree with what he's saying. He's saying something that you agree with, that we have the right to peaceably assemble. We have the right to protest. And then he throws in, this is undermining our democracy at the same time, so that you conflate the two with each other. They have been doing this. This is brainwashing, brain programming at its finest. Be careful, chat. Okay? Be careful, because they are doing this on purpose. And over time, our children will think that we live in a democracy by using this type of word manipulation. Be careful. Be careful what you listen to. Be careful who you listen to. Okay? Listen to everything, but believe nothing. Don't believe any of it. It could all be a lie. Question everything. Dig into everything. Do your own research. Find the facts.
Witnessing an attempt that began on Trump's first day in office of this term, when, as one of his very first official acts as president, he pardoned every single participant in the violent insurrection he incited at the Capitol on January 6th. Even the people who bashed the heads of cops in. The people convicted of seditious conspiracy against our country in jury trials. Of course, the Attorney General and Trump's spokesperson, as she is, says this is all different somehow.
I just want to fact check that right there. Donald Trump did not pardon the people from January 6th that bashed in the heads of police officers, because that did not happen. The only police officer that was harmed died of natural causes, I believe it was a heart attack. Okay. There may have been somewhat assaults on police officers, but there were no actual reports of anyone bashing in the heads of police officers.
You've been criticized for having a double standard with the president pardoning all these people who attacked police officers on January 6th in his first day in office. How do you answer that criticism?
Well, this is very different.
Attacking police officers. Look, they said it again. Listen, chat. There was not one report of that happening.
You've been criticized for having a double standard with the president pardoning all these people who attacked police officers on January 6th in his first day in office. How do you answer that criticism?
Well, this is very different. These are people out there hurting people.
She answered the question
right now,
incorrectly.
This is ongoing, no longer. We're going to protect them. We're going to do everything we can to prosecute violent criminals in California. California is burning. These people are waving Mexican flags, yet they don't want anyone to go back to Mexico. They're burning American flags. This is the United States of America, and we're going to protect Americans. We're going to protect all citizens out there.
First of all, I'm just duty bound to say, when January 6th was ongoing, when people were getting hurt and Donald Trump had a chance to stop it, he didn't, remember? Crucially, right? So when it was happening, when he was watching the coverage of the cops getting their heads bashed in, he didn't stop it. Also,
never happened.
Misrepresenting the protests in California. The Constitution protects waving a Mexican flag at a protest. If foreign flags require the National Guard, I got bad news for some members of Congress. Perhaps most importantly, the January 6th rioters.
I'll tell you this right now. I don't agree with the idea of burning the American flag, stomping on it, flying the Mexican flag while you're doing that. However, we have freedom of speech in this country, and I will die for your right to do it. You have every right to protest. If you feel like you want to light that flag on fire, I don't agree with it, but I will die to defend your right to do it.
Hurt people. They assaulted cops with bear spray and tasers and flagpoles. Those pardons on that first day made it crystal clear, if it wasn't already, it was to me, but for anyone else who was following. Donald Trump does not care a whit about law and order, about the law, about any order other than.
Speech is one thing, but destruction is another. You have to understand that burning the American flag is a form of free speech. We have the right to do these things. Danny, I appreciate that.
And what one with him on top. Now, he's federalizing the national.
You know what? Chat, let me tell you something. I told you this already before. I will die for your right to burn that flag as free speech. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it, but I will gladly give my life to defend that right. And I will bleed on the flag to keep its stripes red. Do you hear me, chat? Getting a little emotional here. Hate it, but it's part of free speech. I agree. And we have to defend that right. Because if that right is lost, so is this show. This show is under attack as far as free speech. I cannot say certain things. We have to go to Twitch for special segments just so that I can tell you certain things. Free speech is under attack right now. And this is the front lines. This war is not being fought like any other war we've ever seen. It's being fought in your hand, in your phone, while you watch this show. I am literally fighting on the front lines of freedom with you. That's why I do this. That's why I used crypto to get your attention. This was never about crypto. It is. It's about financial news. But this is about waking people up. They want California back as Mexico. What if it was Russian, Korean, or Chinese flag? I agree with that sentiment that there would probably be a different narrative. Exactly. We don't care what sides we're on. We will fight for everyone always. Exactly. Yeah, there's no free speech in Australia. I feel for you guys in Australia. That's why most of my viewers are in Australia. It's not mainly because of the time, because the time lines up with when y'all are awake. That's part of why I chose the time I did, was because I wanted to reach Australia. Because I saw what happened to Australia during COVID. My first podcast was more political, and I chose the time slot I did so that way I could reach Australians. Australia is suffering as far as freedom and free speech. B says the First Amendment stops when you hurt or damage property. I think, yes, like, you don't have the right to not peaceably assemble, but you have the right to peacefully assemble. And that's what we got in with the chat the other day is Donald Trump stated that, here, let's just pull it up right here. It's right here. Trump warns that military parade protesters will face heavy force. And these are Donald Trump's words. If there are any protesters that want to come out, they will be met with very big force, Donald Trump said. I haven't heard about a protest, but this is people that hate our country, but they will meet the very heavy force. This is wrong. We have the right to protest. Okay? If he said rioters, I would agree with him. But we have the right to protest anything that we want. We have the right to peacefully assemble. This is wrong. Okay? And we got into it with the chat with someone the other day, and he was like, oh yeah, but these people are rioting. I was like, this event hasn't even taken place. How are they rioting already? This is a future event coming up that is being told that no one is allowed to protest. That is wrong. This is evil. That's why I don't trust this guy. Maybe he meant to say rioters. Maybe he doesn't know his own constitution. Maybe he's just an idiot. Maybe it was taken out of context. But if this is true, this is wrong. We have the right to protest. If you're going to protest, do it peacefully. Take a page out of the history book and look at how Dr. King did it. They linked arms and they marched down the street and they did nothing. They knew better. They knew if they rioted that they would probably be hung or something worse. They knew how to act right. Today's generation, they don't know how to act right. They don't know how to protest. They riot. And there is a fine line between the two. The problem is, I believe that the government now pays or hires people to show up to these protests. And all it takes is one person. You have to understand that this is how it works. A bunch of people march on a federal building, right? One person walks up and bangs on the door, right? Then the next person comes along and bangs on the window. Next person comes along and throws a brick through the window. Next person comes along and sticks their head through the window. And then the next person comes along and climbs through the window. And then before you know it, the entire mob is inside the building. That's how it works. Yeah, one person does it, and if not, stop, people follow. Exactly. They hire people, I believe, The government incites these things. Hey guys, viewership's down. We got to get gifts and likes and stuff coming in. Send some gifts, send some popular votes. Hit the like button if you can't give. Obviously, you guys gave a lot the other day. I understand. But if you can't give, hit the like button. Viewership is way down. We were at like 80 to 100 people on average yesterday, and we are just way down. Chat, everybody, FYP in the chat. Viral in the chat. Hashtag viral in the chat. Hashtag must watch. Danny Gibson, thank you for the Dragon Crown. We gotta work together to keep this show alive, guys. Because really, that's what TikTok wants. TikTok wants you to spend money on the gifts. That's really what it comes down to, because they take 60% of it. That's what really fuels the show. But the likings help. Putting the FYP in there. Chat, everybody put hashtag must watch. Everybody put hashtag live. Hashtag FYP. Because these things do work. These are things that you guys can do to keep it going. But what I've learned is TikTok wants money. That's what they care about. So we've got to figure out a way to keep the people in here. Because if our viewership drops to a certain amount for too long, I have to end the live because it hurts our stats, and then we go into like a shadow covering. I don't want to say the B word, where we don't get seen anymore. So don't let the show, don't let that happen. You guys got to work together with me. Keep hitting the likes. Let's get to 100K likes today. Let's keep the chat with the FYPs coming in periodically. We got to work together here. And I'll tell you what, most of it is because we're here telling the truth, and we're talking about things that is not part of the narrative they want to push. So we have to work harder, okay? This is where you come in on the front lines of freedom here, okay? I'm the general, okay, behind the front line. You guys are the front line. You guys are the infantry. And we have to fight together here. We have to come together and work together to keep this going. Otherwise, this will all be lost. Because they do not want this out there. They do not want this information shared. We have to be such a presence that they can't hold it down. Yeah, share the live, guys. Share the live with your friends. Click the little share button. And not just share the live with your friends with the little share button. Tell your friends, tell your families, tell your coworkers. Get them engaged. Say, hey, this is where I got the money to remodel my kitchen. This is where I got the money to pay off my car. This is where I got the money to pay off my house. This is how I did it. I stopped listening to lies. All right. So the First Amendment, Congress shall make no law respecting and establishing of religion, prohibiting the free exercise therefore, or abiding the freedom of speech or the press, or the right of the people to peaceably assemble and petition to the government for a redress or grievance. This is the First Amendment. We have the right to peacefully assemble. But if you are not peacefully assembling, they're going to send in the National Guard. They're going to send in the Marines, whether it's the governor, the mayor, or the president. Somebody's going to do it. And that's why there's Title 10. We have the right to press. This show has the right to press. But let me show you something. We have 15 people watching right now. If we start talking about crypto, oh, it's going to skyrocket and we'll get viewership right back up. But because we're talking about what we're talking about, they shadow ban us. I'm going to say it, whatever. We're already on that train. We have the right to press. The problem is Section 230. Section 230 of the Communication Decency Act protects social media platforms from liability for content posted by their viewers. The law essentially prevents platforms from being sued for user-generated content, allowing them to moderate content in good faith. They get to moderate content. Okay? Which means they get to shadow ban whoever they want. They get to sweep anyone under the rug that they want. But under any other law, that would be a social media platform would be considered a publication because they are only putting out the things that they want. They're publishing the information that they want. And this is why freedom of speech is under attack on social media because of Section 230. This needs to change. However, there's hope. The Department of Justice review of Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. As part of the President's executive order on preventing online censorship, and as a result of the department's long-standing review of Section 230, the department has put together the following legislative package to reform Section 230. The proposal focuses on the two big areas of concern that were highlighted by victims, businesses, and stakeholders in conversations and meetings of the department held to discuss the issue. First, to address the unclear, inconsistent moderation practices. Boom. Unclear, inconsistent moderation practices. That's what we're fighting against right now. That limit speech and go beyond the text that of the existing statute. Second, it addresses a proliferation of intellect and harmful content online that leaves victims without any civil recourse. Taken together, the department's legislative package provides a clear path towards modernizing Section 230 to encourage a safer and more open internet. Finally, something good the president has done. It is about time we have had Section 230 reform. My first podcast started because of this right here. My very first episode was on Section 230 reform and how badly social media needs it. Finally. But let me tell you, places like TikTok, they're not governed by the United States of America. Why do you think TikTok is getting shut down in a few days? Because they will not operate under this. They are out of China. They're under different laws. They're trying to get TikTok under their jurisdiction, but they don't have it because the internet is something global. This is a problem. This is why even unless China gives them that jurisdiction to make this part of it, then I will be leaving TikTok and you will have to come watch on Twitch. TikTok is getting shut down on the 19th. I don't see Olympics in LA be worse than Brazil. That's funny. Aren't the Olympics here this year? I think they are. All right, back to crypto. Everybody put crypto, FYP, all that in the chat. Jesse, if you're listening, could you come into the office for a second here? Or into the studio? So you guys ready for a little bit of TA? What did I tell you? Red candles. More red candles. So look, we came down here and we tested the blue line. Textbook came to the blue line and we pumped up to about, looks like we went to 215. I thought we were going to hit 217, to be honest with you. And it didn't even go that far and it started coming back down. Now, hear me out. We could hit about 207, 208. Retest there and come up from there. And that would be a double bottom. And then that would send it up to the price of 224. Where's the kid from yesterday? I know, right? Josh? Should we give him a call on Discord? We could potentially come down further. I'm thinking 208 to 206. And then it would be a double bottom and we would bounce up. And that would take us to 214 to 224. And we're at 214 now. You know? So it'd only take us back to where we're at now. Or maybe a little higher. But then that would be a decent pump where we would be looking for a correction that would bring us back down to $2 area, 205. And we're getting dangerously close to $2. $2 is not far away. If it starts, look at, it's been trending on this line, I guess, since May 12th. Well, that's not fair. May 15th, we've been trending on this line. Okay? It's already June 14th. For a whole month, it's been trending on this line. That means it's probably going to break down. I mean, it's textbook now. If this is not a head and shoulders, I don't know what is. $207 to $214 is possible. It could just come breaking right through it. It could just be cooked. We've seen worse. Look at these moves. It went from 216 all the way to 199. Boom. It hit $2 and blew past it. It obviously picked up right away. But we'll have to see. Is it going to bounce off of $2 and continue back upward? Or is it going to come down? The chart tells me it's coming down. This is textbook, as TikTok seller would say. This is a textbook. I mean, we've had other head and shoulders that were less textbook play out. Kodak says, I'm anti-FOMO certified now. Yeah, dude. I remember, man, you were like, oh, dude, this, I'm worried. I'm like, just chill, bro. Chill out. You get two shots. Look it. When it came up here to the top, it touched it twice. Right? It touched it twice here. When it came down here, it touched it twice. It actually touched it 3 times. You get more than one shot. Look, right here. Look at right here where it touched down before it pumped. 1, 2, 3, 4 times it touched before it took off. You get more than one chance. Even 163, okay, we got in here, and you missed it. It came back all the way down to 171. You get a second chance. Look, it did it right here. It came down to 195, and then it came down to 190. You get more than one chance. You don't have to FOMO. There's no need to catch. You can't catch every candle. You can't catch every trade, right? But you can read the chart and let it talk to you, let it tell you what it's going to do, and then you can make a more calculated decision. There's no reason to FOMO, guys. Don't be FOMO'd about it going up. Be FOMO'd about it going down. It's more, you guys have to understand, it is easier for everything to drop, just completely collapse, than it is for things to just take off to the moon. We already went to the moon. Look at this. This is a rocket ship. This is a freaking chemtrail from a rocket ship, straight up. And then one more. All right. Now we're just coming back to Earth slowly. You have time. Chill out. All right, let's get into some news, huh? That last one was a tough one. XRP will hijack 14% of Swift volume, Ripple CEO Garlinghouse says. I don't believe anything this guy says. Yeah, it's easy. All that has to happen is for me to buy it. Yeah, all you guys got to do is buy it and then it's going to crash, right? See, it's the opposite for me. As soon as I buy it, a God candle. Every time I buy it, just creates a God candle. That's why I tell you guys to get in before I buy, because as soon as I buy, it just sends it straight up. I can't take credit for the full God candle, though, because 50% of it is just all the latecomers FOMOing into it. I don't believe this. Let me tell you what. It is June 13th, and we're going into July. Another, we'll look at SXT in a minute. I want to wait for it to find a new bottom. Like I said, if it broke 9 cents, that it was going to come flying down and that we'd have to find a new bottom on it. But I'm not selling. I only bought it at 10 cents. So what, it dropped a couple cents. I really don't care. It's not that big a deal. I didn't put, $100,000 into it. I threw chump change on it. So let's talk about this. I just don't see XRP taking 14% of Swift on. Maybe. And we talked about this with the guy yesterday, okay? Josh is like, oh yeah, like he's on the FOMO train, but he's not watching this show every day. He doesn't understand that this guy will say anything, especially before the end of the month. Here it is, the 13th, and we're looking at a big drop coming, or it's happening, a big drop is happening in the market, and what he's doing is he's releasing information in a timed fashion. Look at, he's done it before. See this candle right here? He knew the Fed report was going to come out, or it was this one. He knew the Fed report was going to come out and tank the price. And look, this was on the 19th, right towards the end of the month. And we knew, oh, shoot, the market's going to tank and we're going to drop down here. So I better come out with some good news for them to keep the market propped up. So he says, hey, the case is over, guys. It's all good. And pew, it takes off. The case isn't over, and we all know that now. I even knew this day, but I knew that something was happening because I saw the inverted head and shoulders. So I got into it, and we caught it. And that's because all the Ripple people, they all knew that he was going to come out the next day and say all this stuff. So they got in early. You got to get in early because you watched this show. But it was going to tank because of the Fed report. And look, if we map this out, let's map it here, okay? So from here to here. So if we were right here and that report would have came out without this good news, that would have taken the price from 233 all the way to 198, and people would have freaked out and it would have sent it even further. And we would have dropped down to this 163 right away, and it actually would have fell further than 163 because it would have been a legitimate Head and Shoulders, and it probably would have fell to 150, and that's what Mega was saying. And it should have. Mega Crypto should have been right. The price should have dropped into $1.50. It should have. But they lied. They lied and artificially brought up the market before it would tank to keep it up. I knew this morning that kid was watching the charts, but we should invite him back, to be fair. You want me to send him a call and see if he answers? I figure we should let it simmer. I figured once it hits 160, then we'll give him a call. Revolution says, y'all mean. You weren't even here. You didn't even see that show. Oh, you did? You were lurking in the background, watching, but not helping? I see how it is. I see how it is. I say we call him once it drops to $1.80 and see if he's buying. And be like, nah, bro, it's got a little more. It's got a little more. A little more in the tank. All right, back to the news. Oh, that's the wrong one. There it is. Nope. You always support, do you though? Do you really? I'm just kidding. We love you, Jesse. She's right. Y'all mean, but I love it. Hey, hear me out. The dude has been spoon-fed moon cheese on social media for the last, 6-7 months? I don't blame him. He thinks it's going to $100 or more this year, minimum. He thinks that Swift is getting hijacked this year by XRP. He thinks that it's happening right now, this bull run. I could see Swift doing this. This could maybe happen in 2030. Let's see if he says a timeline on this. He doesn't say when. Let's watch the video.
5 years. 5 years, yeah. So, I mean,
it's for a dumb reason.
Swift today, there's two ways to think about Swift. There's the messaging, there's liquidity. And liquidity is owned by the banks. I think less about the messaging and more about liquidity. Because if you're driving all the liquidity, that's good for XRP. Anyway, so I'll say 5 years, 14%.
5 years. What did I say? I said 5 years, 2030. Within 5 years. That means by what, January, February of next year, the price will be below $1. Why would you buy it now? Yeah, he'll figure it out. He's definitely a sharp kid and he's into it, but he's just reading into too much FOMO. They all think it's happening right now. He didn't even listen. He brought up this video and didn't even listen to 5 years. He said, oh, no, it's happening by October, November, dude. It's happening. Like, Brad Garlinghouse said 5 years. That's what I've been saying. Like, this could take a decade. People believe what they want to believe. They hear what they want to hear. They don't listen to the truth. Okay, here's a cool one. This is a bit of old news, but they published it on the 13th, which was today, so I figure we cover it. Walmart and Amazon are exploring issuing their own stable coins. Boom. There it is. Stable coins. Everything crypto digital currency is moving towards stable coins and coins backed by real world assets. Then my burger will be worth 100K. Yeah. If they were using XRP or other coins that fluctuate, that means you would go to the store to buy eggs or a burger or whatever it may be, and the price would change and fluctuate dramatically every day. B says, I'm just waiting for the time, waiting patiently. Exactly. I think there's plenty of time for accumulation. You don't need to FOMO out right now. Mother of Dragons, thank you for the TGIF. It's Friday. It's Friday night. Y'all like when I sing? I'm taking requests. Who's got a song for me? I'm taking requests. All it takes is one DJ glasses, and I will sing a song for you. But here's the thing is, stable coins, man. Stable coins are the future. I think the idea of having the digital casino, okay, which is the exchange, the whole purpose of that was to get people involved with crypto. It was the lure on the end of the hook, right? The Land Down Under. All you got to do is send the DJ glasses and I will sing the Land Down Under. And I'll sing it like Peter Griffin. I heard that yesterday. We're all okay. It's at 14th now. What are you talking about? Oh, Mother Dragons sent 2 TGIFs. Thank you, Mother Dragons. I think that stable coins. Just replying to Danny. Oh, gotcha. I think that stable coins are the future. I think that they used the fluctuation in value of coins like Bitcoin, XRP, and all these other things. It was the digital casino that never closed. The 24-hour casino that you could go and you could play the game any time of the day, anywhere in the world. And that's how they hooked people into crypto, to get it to gain traction, to make it normalized, to make people talk about it and say, hey, I made a bunch of money. But the intent, I don't believe, was to make people rich. I think most of these coins will cease to exist, and they will be stable coins. They will be coins that are back to real world assets. Yeah, they dangled the carrot, exactly. So assets like XRP will serve a purpose and maybe be obsolete. XRP, because of RLUSD, XRP is obsolete. Now, Ripple is saying that no, it's going to be used for the facilitation of gas fees and this and that, but that really doesn't give it any value. That doesn't send it to the moon, even if it takes on 14% of the Swift banking system. Okay? It's like the liquidity goes into it and then out of it within seconds. Okay? It's like trying to fill a bucket that has no bottom. So I don't believe that. I could be wrong, but everything is pointing me in a different direction. And that's why I'm all about RWAs, because crypto and stablecoins are still inflationary. Why? Because they get their value from fiat. It's just the same thing. All right, B, for sure. I'll reach out to you. I got you, buddy. But yeah, I do believe that, you know, the future is these stable coins, and the online casino was the way to get people to believe in it. Let me tell you something about money, okay? I can take a green piece of paper with a dead president on it, and I can go buy food with it, right? I can take it down to McDonald's and I can say, here's this piece of paper that's worthless, and give me food, right? But I have this. That's probably a bad example. I have this little bug zapper off the TikTok shop, okay? It's a little light. It turns on. They're like 20, 30 bucks. Whatever. I'm not selling this product right now, but it zaps bugs. I have it in here because the stinking bugs are ridiculous sometimes. And if they get in the studio, it zaps them. Okay? It's worth 30 bucks. It's brand new. Okay? But I can't take it to the store and trade it for a cheeseburger. Okay? I'll bring it in there. I'll say, hey, this is worth $30. Can I get a $5 cheeseburger for it? And they'll say, no, get it. We won't take that. Stick my finger in it. No, I'm good on that. I'm good on sticking my finger in it. But the reason why they take the worthless piece of paper and not the bug zapper that's worth more than a cheeseburger is because people give it validity. People give it value. The sentiment behind it. We have all agreed that it has value, therefore it has value. Same with cryptocurrency. Okay? And that's how they got people into crypto, was by creating the online 24-hour casino that operates right in the comfort of your bathtub, or while you're sitting on the toilet, or on the couch, or in front of the TV. That's what Bitcoin is, exactly. That's what any of these coins are. It's the online casino. And everybody here is trying to get rich off of it, right? We're all here for the same reason. Okay? We want to pay the bills with this stuff. We want to buy all the cheeseburgers, not just one. That's why we're in it. That's how they hooked us into it. Okay? And people are still thinking in 2 dimensions. Where I'm over here in crypto, I'm thinking 5th dimensionally. What will this actually become? What will it actually become? Not what it could be, not what I want it to be, not what it is now, but what I actually think that it will evolve into, because it will continue to change. Whatever crypto is now will be completely different by 2030. And by 2050, it'll be completely different from there. It will not be the same thing that we're looking at right now. So if we're looking to long-term hold this stuff, we're looking into the future of what it will and could be, right? Right now, we're looking at XRP. Why? Because it's good and volatile, and it holds itself up, and they have this rhetoric around it that keeps it propped up. So even though other coins are going up and then crashing, it's still running sideways, and there's a lot of money to be made in the volatility. That's why I focus on this one. This is a good one to trade because it moves sideways dramatically up and down. That's where money's made, in trades. Because kids like that kid Josh think that it's going to 11D. And because they think it's going to 11D, they'll keep buying the top and being my exit liquidity. And I feel bad for those people, and that's why I have this show. But at the same time, we're all in the internet casino right now. That's what it is. Somebody has to lose the game. It's a pyramid scheme right now. Somebody has to lose. Somebody's got to pay for this show. Somebody's got to do it. Right? And guys like that guy, Josh, that came on here, are the ones that pay for it. He gave the biggest donation to this show and doesn't even realize it. So, thank you to Josh. But that's why I follow XRP, because of the rhetoric around it, the FOMO attached to it, the way it clings to the news cycle. It's like printing money. Because we're not stuck on the FOMO, we get to print it out, baby. Because we know better. Just like the whales do. The whales are trading the same way I'm doing it. Thoughts on Tether being USD1? Do you see it? No. Not without investigation. Not without the stablecoin bill. Let me tell you what's going to happen with Tether. Now, we don't know it to be true, but until we have the stablecoin bill and they do investigations into what's going on with Bitcoin and Tether, I won't own either of them. I will hold USDC, and that's it. And maybe if RLUSD comes out and it's better APY because it's faster transactions and whatnot, then I'll use RLUSD. But I won't even move from USDC to RLUSD unless I know that RLUSD is going to pay me more APY, because I don't trust anything Ripple tells me. I do not trust this company. What's Insane Clown Posse going to do? I don't know. Probably Juggalo every day. They're probably going to paint their faces and go to a show. I'm just kidding, Danny. I'm just messing with you, bro. Every time somebody says ICP, I'm just like, yeah, bro. Can we put on an ICP song on here? I'd probably have to remove it from YouTube. Do you guys know what ICP is? Do you guys even know? Is that just a California thing? Like, the people that dress up like clowns? Hold on. I'm going to put one on just for fun. Here we go. This is ICP, by the way.
Ned's excited for his big date.
That's a commercial.
Wondering, what if we keep...
This is ICP. me see if I can find a video of these guys. ACU all cooked up. Look at, here's a picture. That's ICP. I guess I gotta pull it up now while we listen to this. I'm gonna get banned from YouTube for this one, but I don't care. Where I come from, when I was a kid, man, everybody was listening to ICP, bro. If you weren't listening to ICP, you were a nerd like me, and you were in the video engineering class and in science camp and all of that. But I still liked the music. But I was definitely a nerd. All right, everybody, FYP and ICP, hashtag ICP in the chat, because let me tell you what, the Insane Found Posse will come through right now. They will show up. They are diehards, bro. What is ICP gonna do? Focus, focus, Joker start. Come take a trip. I don't know the words. They call themselves juggalos. I think it's about to pump, actually. Let me see. Hold on. No. That is a Head and Shoulders. I know it's kind of wonky, but that's a Head and Shoulders right here. We got a double bottom that looks like it's about played out, and an ascending channel, which means it's headed back down. I'd say in the short term, 531. ICP, baby. What are we dropping down to on what? ICP? We're dropping down to the flow, getting low. We're dropping down to the dance floor on ICP. All right. I'll tell you this, though. It is pretty vulgar. ICP is pretty freaking vulgar. On XRP, XRP is probably going to hit like 205, 208, and then bounce up, double top, and to about 218 to 225, 224 maybe, and then come back down to about $2. It may not, though. It may not. It may just hit resistance here, or excuse me, support, or yeah, it may hit support and blow right through it. And if it breaks through support, it's going to drop hard to 188. Everybody, hashtag must watch. Tap the like button, guys. Tap away. We've got 14 people watching. We gotta get the likes way up. we got to get the viewership way up, or I got to end the live in the next like 10 minutes here. Because that's just way too low. Our diamond count is too low. We need a gift. We need a bunch of gifts, even if they're just popular votes or heart me's. We need heart me's and popular votes. Otherwise, we're going to drop out of where we're at. And we can't let that happen till the end of the month. Otherwise, the show will start to decline. Revolution, thank you for the 6 popular votes. Appreciate you. That's literally us. Revolution is the show putting in money into the chat to keep the viewership up. Giving the money back to TikTok because they take 60% of it. I know you guys all just gave so much the other day. But it's really important that even if it's just a few coins periodically throughout the live, you know, set $1. Think about it. Like, how much do you pay to go to a baseball game? How much do you pay for your internet service? How much do you pay for to watch, Netflix? You know, setting $1 aside each live, each person would be a dramatic increase in viewership. You know what I mean? And like, I understand a lot of people are here for free entertainment, but it's really not free because it comes at a price. Like, either I'm paying, you're paying, TikTok, somebody's paying somewhere along the line. And right now, the majority of what's being paid is me out of my pocket, and we're on a decline. Once the markets start going up, you'll see me just be like, no, we're good. Like, I won't be tripping on it right now. But because the markets are going down, I'm waiting for my entry point, and we've already spent so much money. We're trying to recoup that. So, like, I'm trying to do everything I can to raise money. By the way, I have tickets to Rare Evo. If anyone's interested, you can come with me and we can hang out, spend the whole week with Oz and be a part of the show, or not, just hang out. Let me know. Gibby, thank you for the rose. Danny Gibson, thank you for the 2 DJ glasses. I appreciate you. You are magnificent. Thank you so much. But yeah, we have to periodically, even if it's just 1 or 2 coins of like a popular vote or a heart me coming in, it dramatically helps the show. So I'm trying to put lower grade gifts up that are like 500 tokens or less. But TikTok wants me to ask you guys for like a galaxy or higher. So it wants me to ask for like 1,500 coins to 1,000 coins is what it's recommending. And when I reach that amount, then it pushes us out into the algorithm again. And I'm trying to keep it low, but until we do those things, it's just what it is. Here, I'll put a lower valued one on here. So it's not 500. And I understand if you can't give, totally understand. But if you can't give, you can like, you can share, you can comment, spam the chat with the FYP and must watch and all these different things. You can actually Google and ask ChatGPT, what is the best thing to put in the live chat to make it go viral right now? So you can, let's ask ChatGPT. I know, Jesse, I'm just asking because this is a question you can't give me the answer to. Give me a list of hashtags I can put in my TikTok live that will help it to go viral this second. So hashtag live now, hashtag FYP, hashtag viral live, hashtag crypto live, hashtag make it viral, hashtag trending now, hashtag TikTok live, hashtag live stream, hashtag for you. So actually spelling out for you. Hashtag live vibes, hashtag watch this, hashtag live crypto news, hashtag viral now, hashtag live discussion, hashtag go viral. All right, I'll leave this up here for a little bit. These are going to help. And if you forget what any of them are, I'm going to take we'll take this and I'll put it up here and I'll remind you guys periodically. But if you're ever wondering what to put in there for a hashtag for you age, no, it's got to be for you page, bro. FYP is pretty much the same thing, but when you spell it out too, it's a whole different ball game and ballpark. But viewership's way down. Maybe it's just because it's Friday, Father's Day weekend. It could be part of it, but let's see. We got to do something though. We got to come up with something here. If somebody can send the big shout out, I'd appreciate it. Or popular votes is good. Don't forget the heart me's. When you guys send a heart me, okay, and then you send a gift like the popular votes. So if you send a heart me and then 2 popular votes right after it, it's really good for the algorithm. But also go back to the heart me, click it again, and claim your rewards and level up. And that also helps as well. It's totally free to do that. So once you send the heart me, then you go and you get points for chatting. You get points for gifting. You get points for liking. Okay. When you claim those points, they add up and then it puts you into the next level. And that actually raises my pay scale. So I think I have 47 active members right now. If I can get to 50, which is only a few people away, if I can get up to, I think it's like 50 or 57 active members, then I go into the next tier on TikTok and I actually get 53% of my money. Gibby, thank you for the rose. HD Malicious, thank you for the rose. Danny Gibson, thank you for the big shout out. I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. But yeah, I say in the short term, ICP is going to come down. It's still pumping right now. Okay. It's a double bottom. It's still finding it. At the most, it's going to pump to 561 to 562. That will be the absolute most, and then it will get a retracement. Let me go into a lower time frame here because let's do 10 minutes. Or this is the 15. So look at little free TA for you. Oh, look at this is why we got to look at lower time frames too. So this is kind of an inverted Head and Shoulders. That could potentially take it to 578 to 584. But before that happens, this is an ascending channel, so it could come back down, or it just gets a God candle from here. See, this is why we want to look at it in the lower time frame, because it kind of is an inverted Head and Shoulders, but it also could potentially fill the inverted Head and Shoulders at 561 to 558, which was that other that other place. I take it back. Yeah, 577 to 579, 580 off the table. That was incorrect analysis. It would not go that far. It would go at the most 563, 565, and I think that's what I said prior. I was zoomed in too much. So yeah, it would fulfill at 561. That's your sweet spot. 561 is the tip of the wick on this one. If it doesn't just, and look, it's getting that kind of God candle look to it. So it had the little curve and now it's going up. Now it could get retracement up before that and then go up again. But yeah, that's going to be your sweet spot is 561. This was for Danny on ICP. 561. What was the low? I don't think it's going low. I don't think it's coming down. I think it's going to 561, baby. You know how I do. I know where it's going. It'll cut. Why, are you looking for an entry point? You haven't got into it yet? God candle. What is a God candle? Okay, your entry point. I mean, your entry point was 552. It's at 553 right now. It could potentially drop to 552 again, but I mean, you're pretty much right there. Your entry point already pretty much passed at 544 to 541. Because generally I'd see this and I'd see it doing this. I'd say, okay, that's about to inverted head and shoulders. I'd wait for it to hit the peak of that shoulder, which would be 541, and that would be my entry zone. But you already missed that one. So your entry zone is going to be 542 to 543. Now, you don't have much room, but 561, that's a decent pump. That's decent. Why is viewership so down right now? I think it's because we got like a massive inflow of gifts the other day, and TikTok's like, man, do it again. Man, you foiled my plan. Give me money. I need the money to survive. All right, here's an easy one. One, let them cook. That's an easy one. Oh, yeah. You can put F1 in the chat, I believe. Just F1, no hashtag. Somebody put F1 in the chat. Just one of you. Just one. I actually, nobody do it. Okay, Guinea Marie did it. That's it. Okay? What that does is that resets the algorithm. Now everybody put FYP. Everybody put FYP. I'll list off hashtag live now, hashtag FYP, hashtag viral live, hashtag crypto live, hashtag make it viral, and do this one. Hashtag trending now. Yeah, hashtag trending, hashtag trending now, hashtag TikTok live. And mind you, this is a capital T on TikTok and capital L on live. So capital T for Tik, capital T for Talk, and capital L for live. Hashtag TikTok live. Okay? Hashtag live stream. Capital letters for the beginning of these words. So when you're putting trending now, it needs to be one word. Okay? And the first letters need to be capitalized. So hashtag trending now would be hashtag capital T trending now capital N, one word. The capital letters are important. Danny Gibson, no spaces, and thank you guys for doing this. I'm not harping on you or anything, but yeah, no spaces. Otherwise, it's just hashtag tick is what you're putting in, and so people that are looking for how to remove ticks are going to get notified. It all has to be scrunched together into one word. but you separate each individual word by a capital letter. That's how it works. Revolution, thank you for the scarab. I've never gotten a scarab. That's pretty cool. Guinea Marie, thank you for the let 'em cook. Appreciate you. Guinea Marie, we're really happy to have you back, by the way. I actually cried when I saw that you weren't going to be watching the show anymore. I literally cried. Ask Jesse. Okay, what's a God candle? This is a God candle. This big, beautiful green candle is a God candle. This candle that starts here and there's multiple all the way up. If you go into, I think it's the 1 week, you see more God candles. This is a God candle right here. This is over the week time frame. That's a God candle. This, look at it. This is a God candle. Boom, just straight up for weeks. 1, 2, 3 weeks of God candles, 4 weeks of God candles, a whole month of just crazy pumping. That's why people are like, oh no, it's gonna go like crazy. Look at it compared to previous cycles. It already, every cycle it's done this. It's already reached its full potential for a cycle. It could potentially do more, but it just hasn't come down because it's like consolidating because everybody's diamond handing the shit out of this thing, thinking that it's going to go higher. But I just don't see it. It could potentially hit here and just boom, take off. And believe me, okay, I want to believe that, but even in the week, okay, this is the 1 week chart. This is a Head and Shoulders. The 1 week chart is showing a Head and Shoulders as well. What coin is this? Did we look at SXT and Circle yet? We can look at SXT. This is XRP, but this was ICP. Let's look at SXT and see if it's ready. I think we need to be patient with SXT to find the new bottom because the market's tanked. Okay, wars breaking out in the world, civil war in the United States, craziness. Selling may go away. It's all just messed everything up for us. Yeah, we'll do ETH. We'll do a whole bunch of them. I got you guys. I appreciate my subs. I will take care of you. Let's do SXT. Oh wait, I went to the wrong one. I always get overzealous. Yeah. Oh, this is a good sign. Okay. So here's the thing is this will potentially pump back up to 9 cents, maybe 10. I would probably say 9. It could come back down one more time and double bottom. Let me go into the 1 hour and show you. So this is a bearish trend right here. This is an ascending channel. It's actually an ascending wedge. Okay. So it's coming back down. Okay. That's bearish. This is going to come back down to about 740, 755. Okay. Double bottom and shoot back up. So what I would suggest is not financial advice, but since it's pretty much only subs in the chat right now and in the live, and if you're not a subscriber, you're getting very lucky right now. I'm going to give you one-on-one coaching for this. This is what I would offer you. This is what I would normally tell you to do in the one-on-one coaching. is wait for it did kind of double bottom here and it came back down, but it looks like this is a bearish pattern, which it's going to retrace back down here. I would say 0.75, and it could go lower. It could not quite reach it, but probably about 0.75. It's a psychological number, right? It's going to retrace down, double bottom, and shoot back up. And that would take it to about 8 or 9 cents, probably. I would say right about there. Conservatively, 8.5, 8.6, 8.7 probably. 8.7. All right. So what you would do is this would be a DCA. Okay. We got in at, what was it, 9.5 or 9 cents, right? If you got in at 9 cents, you're looking good. If you got in at 9.5, you're still okay. All right. But what you would do is whatever you put in at this price up here, you'd put 9 times the amount in down here. So if you put in $10, you'd put in $90 down here. Okay. And when it pumps up to this next position, it would come here and you would remove everything from the market all at once. And that would end up putting you in profit with your trade. That is a DCA. DCA at your own risk. I don't generally do it. I'll take a loss, okay? And I'll just put whatever I feel comfortable in here and let it come back up, all right? But I told you if it broke 9 cents that it was cooked. So your stop loss should have been somewhere around 8.80, which was right here. So your stop loss should have kicked in right here and came down. And then you'd be re-entering. And you'd be pumping back up to where the stop loss would have started. And then potentially it'll come back down again. Okay? But if you wanted to DCA, that's what you would do, is you would wait for this pattern to play out, come down to this lower zone and buy, and potentially it goes up. Now, if it doesn't and it drops from there, there's just not enough data. It's a risky move. Okay? But I would say that more than likely, if it does, this is a bearish pattern, it would come down, retest, and it would gain support, and it would pump up to minimum 8.24, which could help you recuperate some of your losses. But I think it would come more here to 8.6. Yeah, 8.64, 8.65. It's going to hit that more than likely. But it could potentially hit this resistance here at 8.20. And that's it. But as much as it dropped, this is, I don't know, that seems pretty unlikely. That will definitely happen. So you have an opportunity to buy here and at least make that trade. But enter at your own risks. STX got you. All right, I got to do Ethereum and Circle first. I got to do Circle first and then Ethereum. But if you have more questions on this, if you've got a lot into SXT, message me, okay? Message me and we'll work through this one, because I believe in this project, but we couldn't have expected it to do this. It triple bottomed. It should have shot up. But sometimes things just happen, okay? We can't be 100% correct on all this, but hopefully you had stop losses at anything under 9 cents, And if you need help with setting up stop losses or knowing where, let me know, and I will tell you, like, this is where your stop loss is going to be at. I don't use them, but I'm a very advanced trader. Okay. And I spend all my time watching these charts. So it's a bit different. So you have to get up to my level before you're going to not be using stop losses. Okay. If you need help with that, reach out to me. We're going into the weekend. Okay. Any questions with SXT for subscribers, free this weekend. Okay. Because I made a mistake. I did not think that it was going to do this. We did not. How could we foresee this? You know what I mean? It just is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, if you have an SXT question over the weekend, I got you. TikTok is going away. Don't forget to go to Twitch and sign up. Exactly. Oz the Crypto Goat on Twitch. We will be there. And Big Baller. I talked to my buddy, but he has not responded back. So I'm still working on that. We'll see what he can come up with. But I do have, I had messaged you about a storyboard for the commercial. Okay. I went to school for this. Okay. I went to film school. I know how to create storyboards and things like that. I really don't have the time to add it to my workload, but if you're paying, I guess I could do it. But you'd also want to kind of give me a rundown of what you're looking for. But I was thinking about it is, we could do more of a cut scene type of filming where we can do the golf pro thing. And then obviously I know it's a beer commercial, you know, you want to have girls and whatnot, and it may be appropriate for that scene. But we could do like where there's a scene where, you know, we've got it in the golf caddy thing in the back, you know, of the golf cart, and we're driving around and we're golfing and we're, you know, pouring them and having a good time, you know, on the golf course. And then it could cut to like, you know, inside of a bar and there's people hanging out and it's a honky tonk thing. And then it can cut to, it's like a tailgate party. And then it can cut to, it's like, you know, what do you call it? Anyway, we can do different scenes like that, but then production costs go up. But I was thinking we could probably split this up into several filmings, several things, because that way you could get the golf one, you know, done and out of the way, and then we can film each different things. But I think you should totally do like, you know, like a tailgate party and golfing and a bar scene and, you know, different, like a house party thing, you know, people playing beer pong and stuff like that and showing its use cases. That would be an ideal, commercial. I went to school for marketing and all these things in film school. So if you need help with that, like, no problem. We can do that. Just remember, I am very, very busy, but I appreciate your support for this show and everything you've done for the show. So I will lend as much resources as I can, but at some point I have to draw the line and be like, hey, this is where we need to go from here or do more. But I can help as much as I can. I want to help you. That's the whole purpose of us meeting up, is not for me to sign an autograph on your golf bag and to go golfing. Like, I want to go to talk business and help you out and do something big. Hopefully you're still listening. I don't know. I don't hear you in the chat. But this is directed towards you, Big Baller, because I see your vision, or at least I have my version of your vision in my head. And I think what you got is something good. Okay. I really do. And I will help as much as I can. All right, everybody. Hashtag for you, capital F, capital Y, no spaces. Hashtag live vibes, capital letters, no spaces. Hashtag watch this. Hashtag viral now. Hashtag live discussion. These are all one word with capital letters defining each word. Hashtag go viral, hashtag FYP, hashtag live now. And let's just start liking everybody. Everybody together, all in unison on the count of 3. We're all going to double tap like crazy. Tap until the little heart thing comes up. There's like a little bar that builds up. Everybody needs to build that up all at the same time on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Start liking right now. Boom. Everybody tap together in unison like crazy. All of us together. Okay, yeah, we can shoot it there. I was thinking multiple scenes, but we can talk about it, man. Just let me know, buddy. Honestly, it's not hard to get a golf course to let you use their golf course to film. There's also rogue filming. I used to do a lot of like B movies and stuff, and we would do rogue filming all the time, where you just show up and you do it. No permits, no nothing, just go do it. All right. Let's look at Circle. Ooh, Circle's looking good. Guinea Marie is making money. Hey, Guinea Marie, I want a pontoon boat for us to have a party on the river for all of the subscribers. I want it in green and gold, please. Yeah, the audio is not as good on TikTok, I know. Yeah, green and gold with an Oz the Crypto Goat logo, please, on the side. And a beer gator in the back, please. And I will be happy. Couple of Evan Roods on the back there. We did like 3K likes in 90 seconds. Yeah, when you guys all work together, we can do amazing things. Just like we did with the gifts the other night. We can do things even for free for the algorithm just by liking together in unison. Just by putting the trend. Obviously, it's a holiday weekend. It's Father's Day weekend, right? So viewership's going to be down, but we can come together and work together as a team. Look at Mar Lopez is already back. You'll see people that watch the show that aren't subscribers coming into the show when you guys are all doing this together. B, thank you for the heart me and the 20 journey passes. I appreciate you. Let's see here. Let's set up a new goal. Let's do an easy one. Let's do the hat and mustache. The animated ones seem to be better for the FYP. Guinea Marie, thank you for the 5 roses. B, thank you for the hat and mustache. Appreciate you guys. Let's see here. Let's do another easy one. One that we haven't done. Oh, here we go. Tiny dinos. Let's do a tiny dino. That's easy. What are my thoughts on Circle? My thoughts are it'll either blow past this, which is probable. I donated to Guinea Marie. Why not to Jesse? Or did you donate to Jesse? Is that what you mean? Guy Marie, thank you for the tiny dino. And B, thank you for the tiny dino. There is a potential here, Guinea Marie, that oh, you you donated to Jesse. Yeah, I know you did. And those of you that already donated it and you're tapped out, I get it. If you can't give, like and share. Or put the FYP hashtag video go viral, whatever you can do. Because it's basically only subscribers in the show right now. So if you can't give, I totally get it. I totally understand. You guys gave so much, it brought tears to my eyes. So don't feel bad at all. Here's another one. Here's an easy one. All right. Oh, well, that one got achieved quick. All right, I got to put a harder one so I can do some TA. And maybe you guys will just handle it quick. Here's a galaxy. Somebody send me a galaxy. Galaxies are like, when you send a galaxy, there's something about the algorithm that just like kicks on. I don't know what it is, but the galaxy is the strongest one. Obviously, there's higher ones, but that one really kicks it into gear. Guinea Marie, we could potentially double top here. All right. It could already have hit that resistance. I would imagine it would inch up further. Let me go into a lower time frame. So this is an ascending channel. It's doing it again. I mean, it looks strong, but also it's pumped so much like this, it's probably going to get a retracement. And that's just normal. That's just normal. And the fact that it ran sideways right here and it pumped like this, it says it's going to come back down to 117. I would say keep, take profits unless you're looking to hold long term, but it sounds like you are looking to, get financial gain from this, not hold Class A shares. You want to hold? I think this is a good one to hold. I'll tell you what, if I was going to hold any IPO, this would probably be the one. Think about it. Everything is just so new. E, thank you for the galaxy. I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much. He wasn't here the other day, so he gets to do all the expensive ones. No, I'm just kidding, bro. This is the one. Okay, I know this one's pricey, but I like this one so much. This might be the coolest one on TikTok. But yeah, that's up to you, Guinea Marie. But I would tell you that what I'm seeing here is a double bottom. Okay. And it's inching up to its spot. So the candle closed at 132, which means it's just above there and it's coming back down. So 135 is the resistance. I'd say this one's topped out for now. And it's very common to see this where it pumps up like this and you get that double bottom and it comes back up and then it double tops. That is a very common, and that would send the price down to like 85. And I'll tell you what, if that plays out, that's when I'm gonna buy. That's when I'll probably buy. Because it's still got some time. Arrow, we looked at Arrow earlier, but I can pull it up again. Let's do ETH. Oh, ETH don't look too good. Okay. Just like I told you before, ETH is a diamond top right now. It just hasn't completed. Okay. But I see, you know how I see the patterns before they happen, and it's probably going to drop down to about here. So ETH is coming down to 235.7, and then it'll pop back up, and it'll basically mirror what this is done on this side over here, and then come back down. If this is what plays out, but it hasn't completely formulated. Technically, it's also this pattern, okay? But I think it's this diamond top, to be honest with you. So this is an ascending, broadening wedge, which is also bearish, which would drop it down. So there's a double confirmation there. It could also be that this is a flat bottom, which is an ascending, broadening wedge, which is also bearish. So that's everything is an indication of downward movement. And let me give you a free little tip here, guys. Little TA. Okay. Look at this. This is the God candle right here. Okay. Pump, 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 pump. What is this? In the day 1, 2, 3 days. 3 days of candles. Green, big fat green candles. 3 in a row with no retracement. And consolidation. That is disaster waiting to happen. It's unhealthy market movement. See, like, look at this. This pumped up hard, and then it descending channeled down, and then it consolidated, and it pumped again, and then it pumped again, and then it pumped again. And then look at, because of all this unhealthy pumping, look at the retracement that followed it. Do you see that? All that downward trend for just a long time because of one crazy pump without retracement. So when that happens like this, and it just comes up and then consolidates, and if it goes more, that's more disaster. TikTok seller, thank you for the whale diving. I appreciate you. That one's cool. That one has audio with it. That is cool. That is one of my favorites. What's crazy is viewership is still down. I think it's because we were talking about what we were talking about earlier. I'm trying to find one that has a B in it so that B is forced to send it to me. I'm going to try to find the most expensive gift with a B in it, and then he'll have no choice but to send it. It's coercion, I tell you. Here we go, B. This is a B1, and it cost $1,100. How about that? I'm just kidding. There isn't one with a B in it. Why is there no B1? There should be like a little bees that buzz around. I'm writing a long, lengthy, vulgar letter to TikTok. Say, hey, I have a follower that his name is B, and he doesn't have a gift with bees in it to send. And bees are amazing. We love bees. What? Okay, this is cool. Okay, this is cool. Oh, I think I got one of those before. Never mind. Oh, here we go. This looks fun. I want to do something fun that's not too expensive, but is something we haven't gotten before. Ooh, that's a lion. I want one of those, but that is a lot of money. TikTok universe. Who's sending me a TikTok universe right now? I have spoken. It shall be a universe. One of you is going to do it. I can feel it. I can feel level 25. Let's go. Who's sending me a TikTok universe right now? Did I ask for too much? I don't think I've asked for too much. I'm just kidding. You guys don't have to send me a TikTok universe. 250, you don't get that. Yeah, I know. I'm just teasing. I just thought it would be fun to put in there. Could you imagine getting a TikTok universe? I could put something bigger. How about the TikTok shuttle? No. I'm just messing with you guys. How about this one? That seems like a lot too. I don't know. We'll give it a try. If not, no big deal. But these are like the coolest ones. These are my favorites. All the ocean ones. Pin the highest one. I think the highest one is the lion. Let's see here. What was the other one that we were supposed to look at? Arrow? Let me tell you right now, Arrow is an IPO. You can't chart it. Oh, man. Oh, it's been around. This is the one, Arrow Group Holdings? No, this can't be it. Is it Arrow Group's holding? Is that the one? Aerodrome, yeah. Aerodrome. I'm back, ran my battery down with all the likes. Thank you, I appreciate you. Just went to IPO today, it's 28. Sold for 10. Ooh, ouch. It more than doubled. I'll tell you what, these defense contracts are going to be easy money. Easy money. Everyone expects World War III right now. And if you got into like things like Lockheed Martin, like I did when I did, you're going to be sitting pretty. Aerodrome. There we go. There she is. Is this the right one? It's at 75. This looks right. No, this can't be it because it just dropped today, you said, right? Aerodrome Finance. It's at 28. Kodak says this is the right one. Maybe Kodak bought the wrong one. Or maybe someone else did. Yeah, I had arrow. Oh, it's spelled different. Different. Oh. I can't find the chart though. Arrow group? Is that the one? Arrow group? That sounds right. Nope, that can't be it either. Grr. It's because it's an IPO. AIRO. Aeronautical charts and no. Yeah, Arrow stock. Oh, here it is. 24, right? It's at 24, 28. This is it. How am I supposed to read that? Somebody told me how to do this. Just don't know where the settings are. This is the chart. It's just the way it's set up. Hold on, let me go to Trading View. We had it the other day. Look at same thing. I'm gonna have to figure this out. Because it doesn't come up. Stocks though. There we go. Okay, I know what I was doing wrong. Arrow Group Holdings Incorporated. Same thing. Somebody told me how to do this, and I can't remember what it was they said to do. Mind you, I just started using TradingView when I started this show, because I use something else to chart for myself, and I don't want anyone to know where I'm trading or see my trades. So I've been learning this. Why is everybody trying to make me look bad today? Good thing nobody's watching. Oh, I gotta take off my headphones for a second. I'll tell you what, the weekend can't come any sooner. It is like 1,000,000 degrees in here right now, and I am dying. I'm probably going to move the backdrop forward more so that I can have more airflow, I think. I got to do something, add a fan, because it is getting hot. Let's ask ChatGPT. How to remove the gaps utilize no gap candles integrator or adjust chart settings to display candles based on previous day close. No gap candles indicator. I tried that. Right click on your chart, click settings, chart settings, appearance, or style tab. Candle color wick settings. I tried that. Try the indicator. There we go. Boom. All right, it filled in the gaps. That's a good indicator. I'm going to be using that in the future. All right. It's volatile, I'll tell you that. That's why it has those major gaps, because between closing, it just dropped or rose dramatically. If you're going out tomorrow and live in Big City, be careful. I got some good intel. Oh, I know. We already know. All of us know. We covered that days ago, man. The news just covered it like today and yesterday. We covered that like a week, several days ago. Beginning of the week. It's from today. Well, tell me. What do you know? This is going to pump again. This is a descending channel. If this is correct. Why does it have so much? It says it goes all the way back to 2001. But it dropped today. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so I mean, it looks like a bull cycle, to be honest with you, but it's a potential that it's going to pump again. a little more. This is here's the thing. This is what you have to understand. You can't chart these things, okay? Because look at this. This is a descending. Actually, yeah, that's a bear flag. Never mind. That's a bearish indication, which it dropped, which it should get a redirection. There's just not enough data here to tell us what it's going to do. Mind you, this is the 1 minute. This is the 1 minute time frame. False flags incoming. I believe that. It could be a triple bottom here. Boom, 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 and then shoot up. And then that would take it back up to 231. There's just not enough data here. Whoever wanted this one, I think it was Guinea Marie. This is unchartable, okay? This is meme coin territory stuff, okay? You can't chart Kodak wanted. Okay. Yeah, dude, you can't chart this kind of stuff. You kind of can, but you can't. There's just not enough data, okay? Generally, when I do an IPO, I buy it, double my money, and get out. XRP, same song and dance. Yeah, no problem, Kodak. You generally, yeah, if you can double your money, you get out, or you buy it and you hold it and hope 10 years down the road it pays off and you get dividends because it's a Class A. I want H bar to pump. Yeah, H bar, everything's coming down right now though. Yeah, H bar's gonna drop. H bar is a Head and Shoulders, and it's a wonky one, but it is one. Yeah, H bar could come. Now, here's the thing. It's where is the Head and Shoulders? Does it start here? And it's already played out? Or does it start down here? And that's it played out? Or is it like this? I'll tell you what right now. I am leaning towards it's coming down more. It should come down to 613 to like 5. Oh, this is market cap. This is in bot. Never mind. Hold on. H bar. Yeah, so it could come down. It's definitely coming down to 14,444,444. You know, it's coming down to that. But I think it's probably going to come down to like 13.5 to 12.5. That's where I think, and potentially lower. It's trending down. So it could potentially go to 0.095. I would say that's probably where it's going to go. And then up from there, and a nice pump after that. That would be your low entry. But it could potentially, because everybody's on this crazy moon cheese, just kind of go in here and then take off like that. but the next support is down here. And, that's about where XRP is probably going to land in that support. So that's why I'm leaning towards that. That would be the same spot. That lower support here or here. I guess this would be that first support. So if XRP stops here, I guess that's where it would go. 0.0125. So 12.5 seems about right. 12.5, maybe 13, somewhere around there. But if it drops lower, and let's say it hits 9.5, that means that XRP is going to $1.05, $1.15. I have not checked Pepe, but Jimmy, you got to become a subscriber, buddy. I hate to do it to you, buddy. Actually, I think I've been messaging you, Jimmy, like you were a subscriber. You've been getting free coaching off of me. Or did your subscription just end? Jimmy, you got to become a subscriber, man. I feel like you owe me. No, maybe it hasn't been you. Oh, it just ended. Yeah, I was like, I've been coaching this guy and he's not even a subscriber? What? You're on Twitch now? You still got to subscribe on TikTok. Still gots to. Because once we move over to Twitch, you're going to have to subscribe to like the next tier up to get the coaching. You're subscribing on Twitch is basically for a better viewing experience without ads. Unfortunately, you're not the only one that's subscribed on both, man. So don't feel like you're it wouldn't be fair if I did that for you. Nikki, thank you for the heart me. Appreciate you. Thank you, Nikki. I appreciate you. Nikki's amazing. Everybody go give her a follow. I guess viewership's not too bad. As long as we're above 20 people watching, we're usually pretty good, but we need to bump that up. So definitely send in the likes, send in the heart me's. Somebody send me a jellyfish. Glowing jellyfish. Nikki, thank you for the rainbow. Appreciate you. We got to try to keep our views above 20 views. All right, we've got news to cover. It's already 8:30. Shoot. Why Israel has chosen to attack Iran now?
So we had confirmation from the Israeli defense minister at around 3 o'clock in the morning here that Israel was launching what he described as a preemptive attacks on Iran's nuclear program. Military facilities, nuclear facilities, buildings, air defense systems have been hit in several locations across Iran, including in the capital, Tehran. What is very interesting here is the timing of this attack, because it happened today. There was a meeting that was expected to happen on Sunday between American and Iranian officials to try to come up with a deal to solve this crisis over Iran's nuclear program. Now, the Iranians are saying, not surprisingly, that they're not going to take part in those negotiations. The attacks today change, the picture. It is very interesting as well that President Trump had repeatedly said that he was against the idea of any kind of military action against Iran, while there were, diplomatic efforts to come up with a deal. And for quite some time, the Israelis have been talking about a window of opportunity here. We've heard from Prime Minister Netanyahu today talking about how Israel sees as an existential threat Iran's nuclear program. And what Israeli officials were saying is that because Israel had weakened Iran's air defense systems in attacks last year, this was an opportunity to strike those facilities in inside Iran. They also talked about Iranian proxies across the region, in particular Hezbollah in Lebanon, being severely damaged following Israeli attacks. So it's not really surprising that an attack has happened, but I think the timing of it was the surprise factor here.
All right, we're going to buzz through this stuff. What we know about the Israel attacks on Iran's nuclear sites and military commands. Here's what we know. Okay. They preemptively attacked them. They're calling it self-defense. It's not self-defense. Okay. If your neighbor says, I'm going to unalive you and shoot you, and you see him in his front yard assembling a rifle, and you go out and you shoot him, that is not self-defense. Okay? But I would call this war. Okay? Obviously, they feel threatened. They did something about it. Let's watch the clip. But it's not self-defense. Oh, we saw this already. All right, we saw that. Disruption as airline cancels flights and reroutes planes to avoid Middle East airspace. You get the gist. People can't fly because of what's going on. Sorry, we just got caught up on other things. Here are 3 reasons why tariffs have yet to drive inflation higher. Separate readings this week on consumer and producer prices were downright benign, as indexes from the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that both rose just 0.1% in May. The months ahead are still expected to show price increases driven by President Donald Trump's desire to ensure the U.S. gets a fair shake with the global trading partners. So far, the duties have not driven prices higher. Saves for a few areas are particularly sensitive to higher import costs. Lies. Everything is more expensive. Everything has gone up. They lie to you. They manipulate everything. They want you to think that interest rates are going to come down. They want you to not panic. They want you to not panic buy. They want to control you with the media. But you know the truth because you check out at the register every day. Kodak, thank you for the awesome. And Danny Gibson, thank you for the 20 lightning bolts. Appreciate you. I'm losing my voice. We went 6 hours the other day. It just like totally blew me away. This is a lie. And we all know that 0.01% is a lie because they remove energy and food costs to get that number. And that's what 90% of us spend our money on. Trump tariffs live updates. Trump threatens to set unilateral tariff rates within weeks. Okay? Prices in the market are going to drop again because he's about to put out the unilateral letter, blanket tariffs across everybody, every country. I don't need to read all of this. We don't need to watch the video. But blanket tariffs are coming back. Buckle up. Exclusive, Trump's tariff deal quietly added a 10% raise, which nobody is complaining about anymore, says his former Commerce Secretary. Yeah, so there is a 10% raise in tariffs that nobody's talking about, nobody knows about. Everyone thinks tariffs are gone, but they're actually going up. Oh man, my cat food prices are already high. I know, right? And there's a 10% increase in tariffs across the board that they've been hiding from you. 10%. And once you think the markets are looking bad now, wait till people actually find out the truth of what's really going on. They think tariffs are still paused and the markets are going down. Wait till they find out, because it'll come out. They're just doing it slowly. Trump says he may soon hike auto tariffs to get more U.S. production. So more tariffs are going to go up for the EU. Remember when everybody thought that there was a deal with the EU? And we were over here just like, no, you're not. No, you're not. It's crazy, man. Like, they're about to raise auto tariffs yet again. Again. Nate, thank you for the heart me. Yeah, the UK. There's no deal with the UK, and they're about to hike up the auto tariffs even more than they are now. Yeah, they shook hands or talked on the phone. I thought, yeah, nothing got settled. There are no deals. I think there's one. I think we have one deal, and it's with Israel. There are no deals. The get ready for the tariff freak out in the market to come, because most people don't even know this. They think that it's over, and then the news is going to come out after this weekend, and everything's just going to go. Or they'll keep hiding it. I think they're hiding it because they don't want the markets to tank, because Donald Trump doesn't want to look bad. So also take into account moon cheese, man. Take into account moon cheese. People may just buy XRP at $2 because they've lost the plot. Tariff uncertainty and inflation fears keeps the Fed stuck in place. Feds are not lowering the rates, guys. Fed rates are not coming down, and mortgage rates are up. Mortgage rates are up. It's crazy. And people literally think that the rates are about to come down in July. I don't understand why. It's the echo chamber that they're caught in. I understand why, but I can't believe the nonsense. Economic data is telling the Fed to cut rates. That's the funny part. Is the previous one. This is why. Okay, tariff uncertainty, inflation fears keeps the Fed stuck in place, and then the next article is the economic data is telling the Fed to cut rates. The economic data is flawed. Okay, we already know that. We went over that before. They're lying to us. They're removing food and energy from the numbers in order to make it look better, to make people think that rate cuts are coming when they're not. And that's to keep the markets from crashing. That's the reason why. But when the rate cut comes out, or when the Fed rates come out and it stays the same or goes up, it's going to drop the market. It's just not as dramatically. But yeah, they're lying to you. Oh, the lies are just so crazy. I can't do it anymore. All right. We're teetering on the cusp of low viewership. We're at 18. We need to get that number up to 20. Who's got me with a jellyfish? Somebody help me out with a jellyfish here. If the jellyfish is too much, I'll put a different one up there. But that would be ideal. I put the GIFs up there based off of what TikTok wants. Danny Gibson, thank you for the glowing jellyfish. I appreciate you. TikTok gives me a recommendation of what it wants me to ask for. And sometimes what it asks for is just like, people aren't going to send that. But that's how you stay in the algorithm. Let me do something else here. Oh, here's an easy one. Here's an easy one. Here we go. Oh, this one's good. Yeah, this one will help. the hearts. This one actually helps the algorithm quite a bit. Man, I'm losing my voice. I might cut the live early. If we can't get the hearts, I'm gonna cut the live early because I'm losing my voice. Anybody have any TA they want done? And don't forget, Neil was supposed to be on the live today and he didn't show up. And he didn't give me any notice either. We're mad. I like Neil actually, so I'm giving him a free pass, but at the same time, if you schedule to come on the show and you don't come on, I don't know if I'll reschedule you or not. We'll see. Neil might get a free pass. I don't know. And don't forget, we have merchandise. You can get it in my Discord. There's a link, this link right here, where you can order your shirts, mugs, stickers, and more stuff coming. You cutting the live because nobody's sending gifts? Yeah. I have to, because if viewership drops too low, it breaks our stats. Neil's voicemail went out. Yeah, Neil was live, but I have to cut the live early if we drop too low in the stats, because it's bad for the show overall. Danny Gibson, you got it, bro. And don't forget, we're live Monday through Friday, 5 to 9 p.m. And you can join my Discord. It is the link in my bio. Click on my link in my bio, add the Discord, and that's where you can get your beautiful merch. We have hoodies, shirts, men and women's shirts. We have mugs. I got my mug right here. Check it out. I'm telling you, your coffee's just going to taste better because the goat's on there. I promise you. It's just going to taste that much better. All right, Ondo. I'll tell you this right now. Everything's headed down. Yeah, Ondo, same thing. Ondo's a bit of a head and shoulders that may or may not have played out, but I would say Ondo's coming down to either it's hit its bottom at 75 cents and it's about to bounce and recover, but who knows if it continues down from there. It could be the start of a diamond bottom here. This could be a diamond bottom. If it pumps from here, I would say that that's an indication of a diamond bottom, which would send it up to 95 cents. If that's what it is. But it seems like everything's just going down right now. It could just be a bull trap. I would say more than likely what you're going to see is 70 cents to 65 cents, 66 cents. I'd say 70 to 67 cents is probably more likely. Cardano, same thing. Cardano's probably coming to 55 to 53, and it could go as low as 50 cents. But I'll tell you what, if it hits 50 cents, it's probably going to bounce from there. So I would probably set my limit order at like 51, 52, just to make sure it hits. I usually like to do 3 cents. Don't be greedy. even if the charts say it's going to this point, like when I did the 163, okay, I was looking at it and I was like, okay, this could potentially go to 160, but I added 3 cents and it went to 161. But why fuss over 2 cents? You know, like, make sure it hits, because you could be sleeping when it hits. If it drops that dramatically, you're looking good. I'll probably put mine at like 153. Yeah, 153, 154 is where I'd put mine. I'd probably put it at 154. But it's a one, excuse me, not one, excuse me, 55. I think 55 is a psychological zone. That's where I would put my buy order. And I'm probably going to get some Cardano. I don't know. I definitely want an Ondo and Algo. Good night, Danny. Thank you for the gifts. Kodak, thank you for the heart me. Hey, remember everyone, you can send another heart me today. It is, or I guess we got 15 more minutes till you guys can do that. I'm not going to stick around another 15 minutes. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I've lost my voice. I haven't slept in God knows when. I'm going to call it a night. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. It's been great. It's been real. I'll see y'all on Monday. He just wanted y'all cash? What? Dude, I spend way more money on this show than what I make doing this. I have a full staff that I employ here. I'm not making any money doing this. You're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about, bro. We are literally not making any money. This entire live for the last four hours we've been live, we made 25 bucks and TikTok takes 60% of that. I'm just saying, bro. Thank you, Nate. I appreciate you. Everything that I make here off these platforms and everything I make off my trades goes directly to paying the staff. The whole purpose, this is basically all charity here. Everything I do here is because I want to help people. And I got nothing better to do. I'm retired. So I might as well yap on the internet. I like to hear my voice.